Do it. Do it. Do it. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. My bad. It was my bad. Man. Crazy. We just the controversial ones, bro. That's all I can say. Apparently.
Yo, that's crazy how that shit worked.
Yeah. They slipping and sliding down that evolutionary ladder, yo.
Well, I mean, for years, people assumed that was about morality. It's not.
Yes.
It's about popularity.
That's it, bro.
It's about popularity and acceptance.
That's it.
And those are not the same thing
at all. What up, Stella? At all.
What up?
It's not the same thing at all. Not at all.
Oh, goodness. Bang, bang, bang. Jonathan.
Sean P. Yo, that whatever it is you over there eating must be delicious. Like yo, you did them. That's that, bro.
It's not. I can't hold you. It's not even that it's good. What up, Random?
What up, Random?
It's not even that it's good as candy. It's a sugar.
Yeah. Sugar rush. It's a sugar rush.
Yeah,
no, I get it. I
don't really eat candy like that, so whenever I do,
the candy. Hey, Betty, the candy that I eat more probably it's not that really super sugary sweet stuff. It might be something chocolate. You know what I'm saying?
No, hold up. That's what I mean when I say I don't eat candy.
Yeah.
Hey, chocolate all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about the super sugar.
Yeah, it's hard sugar.
Yeah, right. I'm effectively mainlining sugar.
Yeah. Like it's
I
like
don't do that often.
You took sugar and you hooked up to your veins and just shit. I don't eat that a lot, but pastry. But
right now, that's what I'm doing, and it's amazing.
When you crash, though,
nice. Hey, I don't listen. Here's the thing. I actually, no, it's a part of my week, so never mind.
Oh damn.
Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Oh shit. So we jumped on. What up, McKenna?
Hey, McKenna.
McKenna moving to Oregon. That's crazy.
Listen,
that's crazy. But I get it though.
Absolutely. What up, Sandy?
Hey, Sandy. I get it. Yeah. Florida kind of crazy. I might as well go and do the intro since we came in a little late. Oh shit, she had the shopping delivered. All right, Betty, we see you. That's why she's late, because she had shopping. Yeah. Me. Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now we want to welcome you guys once again to another 3 hours of shenanigans that we have prepared for you today. If you look closely under my name, it says support our Kickstarter. Because for those of you who didn't know, we launched a Kickstarter last week.
Absolutely.
So if it so suits you to support our Kickstarter, the link is coming your way right now.
Yeah.
For those of you that have already supported, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
We did reach our goal and exceeded it.
So the stuff is guaranteed now.
Yeah, the stuff is guaranteed. Now we're working on the stretch goal situation, right?
Right.
So when this weekend is over, probably on Monday, we'll have to think about what the stretch goals will be. But we were told that December is the worst time of the year to do a crowdfunding thing.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Looking at the numbers, like you look at the graphs, yeah. But we thought, we'd be good because we start in November.
You didn't know that in the United States, Christmas starts after Halloween?
Yeah, well, actually, I did know that. But, I was trying to keep that in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? But even with all that, we still made our goal.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm most happy about.
Yes.
That's what I'm most happy about. Anything else we get now is just a plus on top of that. Of course, it's more work for me, but it's work that I'll gladly do because it moves the chains forward. At any rate, the book being able to come out is the most important thing. Having that book published is the most important thing.
Thanks.
And being able to set up again for 2024 and drop more books. Matter of fact, I had a friend of mine, y'all know him as Vermin, hit me up about this comic book store. He had talked to the people there. He showed them the book. They loved it. But the thing they was worried about the most, and it's a good worry to have, is usually with indie books, like they would need a book to come out a month.
Right.
One book a month. We can't do that just yet. So these are things that we are working towards, striving towards, being able to, if we could put out a book a month, that'd be crazy. Because it wouldn't always be extra being entropy. It would be Dimension Away, or it would be Singularity. Your title is Creation, Gendra Creation, right? Yeah, it will be something like that. Now, is that a one shot, or is that a mini series, or
no? That's the series. That's all the shit that happens with Gendra is as the main is going to happen under Creation.
Okay, and the Creation. So that's multiple titles.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Well, no, not multiple titles. That is the title. It is.
Multiple issues. I meant it's multiple issues. Got you. That's a fact. Cynthia said, "Hell, it starts before."
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts.
It's a fact.
Absolutely facts.
Man, as soon as one leaf hit the ground, they got all
ding, ding. You're like, what? Why did you take away? Hold on. Damn it,
true, man.
I was just at the beach. Like, what?
It's still hot outside. What y'all doing? I got to get accustomed to that any goddamn way because.
Well, sure.
Because And I saw the place I'm gonna go. I saw how they do. I like how they do for the holidays. That shit dope. They got various parks around the city, all gussied up. They got kids out there with the canes doing all shit. That's fire. That's fire, right? Yeah. So, and on top of that, I ain't freezing my nuts.
Yeah, I'm about to say not having to do with snow. That's fine.
Good, Dale. Yeah. Good. That shit's hard. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay. All right.
So should we tell them about our holiday situation
later?
Okay. Bet.
And I guess every day up until
to remind me. Yeah. Facts.
All right, let's get into this topic. So I want to start this off a little slightly different, just slightly. You know the phrase, where there's smoke, there's fire?
Yeah.
I want to put an amendment on that. Where there's fire, there's smoke. So, a couple weeks ago, news came out that Diddy had officially given back the royalties to all of his bad boy artists.
Yeah.
And people in droves were celebrating him,
praised them,
giving Hail Marys and and all this other stuff. Okay, but I came on this here show.
You did come on the show
and explain to those of you who were not in the know that this was not something to be celebrated.
Right.
For several reasons. One of them is, and this is the whole fire there being smoke thing. Him giving royalties back is kind of fruitless 20 to 30 years after
Facts.
These songs were at the height of their popularity. It's kind of a useless platitude at this point. Unless you happen to be broke and you think that this might give you a little bit of money, help you out in life.
Right.
Well, Tim and I were just talking about something that he didn't really want to bring up because we tend to not bring up the stuff that can't be corroborated on the show, but that made me think. I saw a clip of an interview that Diddy did after the announcement came out about the royalties, and he confirmed in that interview that he initiated the royalty thing 2 years prior, and the reason that it took so long was because of legal reasons. So there's a rumor that those royalties came with NDAs and things of the like. That's the rumor, but he confirmed that it took 2 years because of legal reasons.
Right.
Potentially NDAs about this situation that we want to talk about? Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
And maybe some other things. We don't know.
Right. And then to put the cherry on top before we get into the actual story, the rumors are coming back up about him orchestrating the death of Tupac Shakur.
Right.
So it's like, it's a lot going on at once.
Right.
So he said, right, sorry, here's the money decades too late to be used for the further.
This right here.
Here's the thing. I personally, because I was too young at the time and because he died, it didn't matter, but objectively it didn't matter.
Right.
I don't know how he did business with Biggie. I don't know how that works. He happened to die at the peak, so there was never a time where they fell out publicly. So I'm not sure how that worked.
Not publicly,
but
yeah.
He was about to leave and I know that.
That's the
but that's what I'm saying. Like he was about to leave Bad Boy and do his own thing, but I don't know if that was just because he wanted to do his own thing or because he wanted to do his own thing and Diddy was on some other shit.
And it's certain things that lead to believe that Diddy's annoying. Like the shit that the shit that Biggie said about, he got tired of writing the shit down because every time he turned around, this nigga come walking over there,
right,
looking at the shit, and then say, "Yo, that's my part."
Yeah, I want that.
That's annoying. That's annoying.
Yeah. All right. So on top of that, there was definitely 2 artists that were around during that time.
Yes.
Mace has had a decades-long feud on and off with Diddy about this very thing.
Now, hold up now.
Mace,
for those of you
who don't know, he was huge.
They were then. Batman, and there was a hip hop where they were Batman and Batman 2. Like, because there was no Robins.
No.
It was Batman and Batman 2. Like,
absolutely.
That little tandem that they had right there was selling a lot of records. They were uber popular. So Mace would know.
Bruh. Also, Craig Mack.
Oh, by the way, one piece of trivia. We don't get Biggie's success without Craig's album. Correct. The money that album, that song "Flavor in Your Ear" generated is what really set off the whole Bad Boy shit.
And Craig Mack didn't live to see his royalties. Nope. Black Rob didn't live to see his royalties. At the time when Black Rob was in the hospital leading up to his death, Mark Curry, another former Bad Boy artist,
yes,
was pleading with Diddy.
Oh, all in the press, all in urban press, online, pleading with this. Say, yo, this man is sick. He's in the hospital. Blah blah blah. Get that man his money. Black Rob dies penniless.
Yep, absolutely. And Black Rob was on some hits.
Like Whoa
was a huge hit. Black Rob was on the Bad Boys for Life. Black Rob was on the song "Let's Get It" with G Dep. Like Black Rob was on some.
Yeah.
And if I had to guess, he probably wrote for Diddy too.
I'm sure he did. Bro.
I had to guess. So like, no, this isn't. This is and then since the announcement came out, there's been one or two artists that were associated with Diddy that said, "Oh, I didn't get it. I didn't get my royalties."
Right. Maybe they didn't sign no NDA.
Maybe they didn't sign an NDA.
And by the way, just as an aside to all of this, 50 Cent been on Instagram.
Oh, facts.
Giving boy.
Facts. That's facts.
Both feet in Diddy. Both feet.
Facts. All right. So let's get to the actual topic at hand. Oh, crap. Can I just close this? Yes, I can. Okay. Sean Diddy Combs, Cassie settled bombshell lawsuit alleging rape, abuse, and sex trafficking.
Excuse me. From now on, he'll be known as Sean Daffy Combs. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, I'm not about to call him Daffy throughout this article, but I ratify that. Diddy and Cassie have reached a settlement one day after the singer accused the music mogul of rape, sex trafficking, and physical abuse in a lawsuit. The parties said Friday that a resolution had been reached in the case in a release sent by attorney Douglas Wigdor. They did not disclose the settlement amount. Cassandra Ventura, known professionally as singer Cassie, filed a sex trafficking and sexual assault lawsuit Thursday against ex-boyfriend Sean Diddy Combs in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York, according to court documents obtained by the USA Today. In a statement Friday, Cassie said, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, friends, and lawyers for their unwavering support. We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie..." This second one's coming from Diddy. "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best." The suit, which named Combs and his companies, including Bad Boy Entertainment, Bad Boy Records, Combs Enterprises, LLC, and Epic Records, sought unspecified monetary damages. The lawsuit alleges that Cassie, who began a professional and sexual relationship with the rap mogul when she was 19, he was 37, by the way, was trafficked, raped, and viciously beat by Combs over the course of a decade. After years in silence, this is Cassie, after years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships. With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced and that I will be recovering from for the rest of my life. Inside the lawsuit, that's never mind. That was you need to work on formatting your website better. USA Today, it's kind of it's a little off. In a statement provided Thursday to USA Today, Combs denied Cassie's offensive and outrageous allegations and accused his ex of extortion. Quote, "For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subject to Ms. Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation.
No reason to pay.
Yes, because here's the thing.
Reason to pay.
If she was going to write a book, she probably would have made out better than 30 million.
Yeah. Also,
about a tell-all about Diddy,
bro. And this is the thing. you went and did the settlement shit when you have the money to fight this. You know, somebody else said this shit a while ago. It was like, if somebody accuses me of some shit that I didn't do,
yeah,
and I can, they're trying to exploit this non-situation, and at the same time have me look crazy to my fans and the people, my public image tarnished. We are fighting to the bitter end, because if I got the money, my lawyers gonna be on your ass for everything. Yeah. And then on top of that, we're gonna go on a campaign to make you look like shit for trying to do what you did. There's no reason to give her money. There's no reason to give her money if it didn't happen, right? Right?
I mean,
right?
Listen, there are times, right? There are times in life where the idea of people settling, I reject the outright idea that it was simply because they were guilty.
Yes, because sometimes it's not just that. Sometimes it's literally, this is going to drag out, and it's not one of those type of things where it's worth me spending this amount of time, money, effort on this.
This ain't that.
Companies do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
This ain't that.
I don't. Now
she said rape, kidnapping. Oh,
bro,
sex trafficking. We are going to the
hold up. Look, listen. Here's some. I don't know if the article, but I'm done with the article. Here's the court filing. Of course, I can't read the whole thing because that's pages and pages and pages. I'm trying to find preliminary statement. Defendant Sean Combs is a rapper and record executive, popularly known by his stage names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or Diddy. Mr. Combs came to fame in the early 1900s with that's not what that says. I said the early 1900s. The early 1990s, with his record label Bad Boy Records, he rose to prominence in the music and entertainment industry over the decades and is regularly referred to as a hip-hop mogul. In 2022, Mr. Combs received a Lifetime Achievement Award at BET Awards. During his acceptance speech, Mr. Combs stated, "I have to give a special shout-out, thank you, love, to the people that was really there for me." He named a number of people before adding, "and also Cassie for holding me down in dark times." The truth, however, is that Cassie was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade. This is the official court filing, people. For Miss Ventura, the dark times were those she spent trapped by Mr. Combs in a cycle of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking, among other violent and unlawful acts. Mr. Combs raped Miss Ventura in her own home after she tried to leave him. Often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. Blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Miss Ventura. That one isn't corroborated, but the pieces of the story are. I'll get to that.
Talking about the kid, Cuddy shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. By the way, there's tea in here.
Forced Miss Ventura to engage in sex acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. Ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive who he learned was nearby. Demanded that Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is, and introduced Miss Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions. So, the only one of the, again, this is her filing a lawsuit against him. The only one of the, I just alluded to, the only one of these that has obvious identifiable credence is the thing about blowing up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Ventura. This comes from another part of the filing, but I'm not about to read it. I remember it. I read an article yesterday. Basically, she had started dating Kid Cudi, and when Diddy found out, he said something to the effect of, I'm going to blow up his car, and I want him to be home when it happens. And shortly after, Kid Cudi's car was blown up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that. Yeah. Okay. So, one other thing about the whole where there's fire, there's smoke. And this is borderline, if not jumping into conspiracy theory, but it's a rumor that I feel is relevant. So we're gonna go ahead and say it. So Uptown Records. Uptown Records was a label that was founded by, there were 5 people, I think it was 5, who were present at the very beginning of Uptown Records. Mm-hmm. That was Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, Diddy, and Kim Porter. Kim Porter was their first employee. For those who don't know, Kim Porter is the mother of several of Diddy's children. Mm-hmm. Andre died, heart attack. Heavy D died, heart attack. Mm-hmm. Kim Porter died. The initial coroner's report said she was drugged, which there are poisons that make it look like heart attack. I'll be sure was recently in a coma. Yep. He made it out of the coma, but
it's odd.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody would
the last person left is Diddy. Now again, I'm not saying that means something, but bruh,
it's just things that make you go,
yeah, bro. Like, I mean, so like I said, where there's fire, there's smoke. And to expound on that a bit, what I'm saying is the lawsuit is the fire.
Yeah.
Whether you want to believe the other things that are surrounding his name right now and or not, that's up to you. But it would be kind of irresponsible to not consider.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Dead Men Tell No Tales. It would be kind of irresponsible to not consider that they may be related.
And also, it's irresponsible to not seriously put some thought to the fact that Sean Daffy Combs is not a good person.
Oh, no. Yeah, we talked about this last week with Lauryn Hill. Sean is not a good person. And as Tim said to me before we came on, he's probably a terrible person.
Yeah. Horrible.
Probably, like, to be clear, no, not even probably. I'm willing to say terrible because of the royalties thing.
Yeah, that alone.
Yeah. No, what the fuck you mean? What, like, so I had always, ever since it started, because this started in the early 2000s with Mace, I had always believed Mace.
Me too. I always believed Mace. Always.
I didn't, like, my mind didn't connect the dots that it could be other people too.
You know the reason why that is? This is where Diddy hid. And politicians do this shit too. He hid in how shitty the perception is of the music industry.
Right.
Anyway, so when you hide behind a construct that is known and thought of to be shitty, that does give certain people an out to say it might have been bad business, but it's shit that happens in this business.
Right.
Sean grew up at a time in the business where this sort of thing was happening. All these motherfuckers was doing this type of shit to people. So that's how he learned how to do the shit. It's horrible, but whatever, right?
Right.
Politicians do the same thing. You'll have a politician out there lying his ass. I mean, blatant like that motherfucker Santos. blatantly lying and being a fraud and stealing money from the people that give all of this shit, right? And then they'll hide behind, well, politics is a shitty game. See, that's hiding behind the institution that already has the perception of being shitty. So when you do your little shitty stuff, you try to get it. Oh, it's part of the shitty business. Look, I'm just operating within the shitty business. No, some of the stuff you're doing is far and above, outside the boundaries of this shitty institution. You are a horrible, horrible person. It's that simple.
Facts.
That simple. What up, free thinker?
What up? And it, like I said, I believed Mace, but it really hit home for me when I saw the stuff that was happening with Black Rob.
Same.
That was when it was like, all right, I had just recently heard something about you being close to being a billionaire, sir. Why does this man not have any money? Like, is it possible? Well, because obviously it's confirmed. Would it have been possible that he got his money that was due to him and he just blew it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But now this doesn't necessarily make you bad to not do this, but I think it only makes you decent to have done this.
Yeah.
This man was kind of instrumental in you being who you are.
Come on, bro.
Like,
come on.
These people, like, if you want to say Mark Curry is sour grapes, all right, I'll give you that because he never made it big.
Right.
And we like hip hop heads knew who he was.
Yes.
But the average everyday listener might have only heard him on that one song.
Right.
Okay, fine. Black Rob, Mace. Nah.
We're not doing that.
No.
We're not doing that. And again, the public outcry, to be able to ignore that, it's a couple of things you can really ignore when the public outcries about shit. Because I got to be honest with you, most of the time the public is trash.
Oh, come on.
Uninformed, like a motherfucker.
They're made up of humans.
Exactly. But when there's a public cry about something like this, like Black Rob, who we all know was instrumental in the success of Bad Boy, because when you have a string of successes, you become an institution over there. There's the expectation that, yes, this person here delivers the goods. They are great talent scouts. They usually give us artists that we're going to walk away with some money as far as the amount of records they're going to sell, and the people are going to acknowledge that this person exists and listen to that song. Black Rob was one of the links in that chain. And yet, when the public outcry came, yo, that's Black Rob. Why is he? Two things. Why is he penniless?
Right.
And why aren't you helping him now?
Correct. So just for the people that are unaware, Black Rob put out an album that went platinum in 2000. That was, I want to say, what was it, early 2000. So that was toward the beginning, if not before the big boom of how people were going multi-platinum, and it was like around that time. So that's a big deal. And then he had his one single,
Mr. Anderson.
We're going. Then he had the one single, Whoa, which top 10 US rap, top 10 US R&B and hip hop, and like top 50 US peak positions. And then he was on Bad Boy for Life, which was top 5 US rap, top 15.
Use that song in Shaft, yo.
Bruh, top 15 US R&B, top 35 US, and then the song Let's Get It, which was again top 5 rap, top 20 US R&B. Like, that's not to mention the other stuff that weren't singles and things like that. So like, he was an integral part.
Integral, especially during a transitional period. Like again, what he did to Black Rob I should put it, what he didn't do for Black Rob really should be the nail in the coffin of having you know that it is well within the realm of believability that he did all that to Cassie, because you are a monster to see somebody
people like
in the
shit.
hospital. Yeah.
Yo, what makes Black Rob the worst, even in like comparison to Mace, is Black Rob saw what you did to Mace.
Saw what you did to Mace.
Was still there for you.
What up, Cosmic?
What up? What up? What up? And it's like no reward for that. Like
here's a lesson in this too for all the rest of us. Be very, very careful when you observe how this person treats other people. Now, there are all these caveats we can throw out there.
Yeah, they're outliers.
Personal relationships coming into play.
Absolutely.
Personal grievances with the person, whatever, right? But you need to be very careful if your situation nearly mirrors theirs and the way this person treats that person. You should be really careful, because reality situation is if Black Rob if he had thought for 1 second, this nigga might do me like that. Right. Instead of thinking, he wouldn't do me like that.
Right. Because the situation might be completely different.
Right. Because again, I say to any of you who were either too young or wasn't into the music back then, Mace and Diddy, monsters. Monster hits.
Let me pull it up because it's impressive. It's not even like,
bro, their music videos with the dancing and all that, which I hated all the shit. But
I mean, hey, listen,
it was
all right, Mace. Before he left Diddy, first album 4 times platinum. Second album was gold. Let me see. Number 1 rap, top 5 US. That's one single. Next single, top 5 rap, top 10 US. Next single, number 1 rap, top 10 US. Next single. Oh no, that was it before he left Diddy. As a featured artist. First single, number top 3 US R&B, top 15 US. Next one, number 1 rap, number 1 US R&B, number 1 US. Next, number 1 rap, number 2 US. Next, number 1 rap, number 1 US. Next, top 20 US. Next, top 10 US, top 15 US, top 10 R&B. Next, top 10 US, top 10 R&B, top 50. Yeah. Like, bruh, this isn't. Mace was a monster.
Mace was he was an absolute monster at the time. And you're not telling me he didn't. He wrote, look, I'm saying he wrote Diddy's all.
Oh, yeah, he wrote a good chunk of Diddy's raps.
Listen, Mace, ask Harlem about Mace.
Right.
Before that was murder Mace.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, shit. Look at Cameron and Mace's podcast.
Right.
Cameron often talks about that stuff. Like,
yeah. Like it didn't get any bigger than that tandem right there.
Yeah.
Especially during that time, it didn't get any bigger than that. And you hear if you've looked into it, just hear the shit that Mace says about Diddy, yo.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. He treated Mace so bad, he drop kicked him in the church. That man left music.
Yeah.
Went into the church.
Facts.
Like,
all facts.
Diddy's a horrible person, but I do want to talk about and he's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
In reference to this, other people who are almost equally horrible. Not gonna say equal,
well,
but
I'm about
you're
to
in that lane.
Diddy is a big measuring stick.
Right. So I had to walk that back a little bit. It's going a bridge too far. I've seen, and I expect this from guys. I do. I've seen women run around talking about why she takes so long. If I gotta hear another one of y'all say that goofy shit, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Listen, I expect this from a bunch of goofy ass men.
Right.
I don't expect to hear this from a bunch of women. Why she takes so long? Why you think?
Yeah.
If she just at the height of Puffy's popularity,
bruh,
at the height of people fucking with him, and then she would have said that, what would your responses have been? Especially
on top of that, not just the normals of that type of situation. Yeah, because unfortunately, but not just the normals of that situation. They would have called Cassie a homewrecker.
Yes, they would have.
Because Diddy and Kim were still together.
Yep.
At the time.
Yep.
They would have called Cassie a Jezebel because Cassie was with Ryan Leslie. Is that his name, Ryan Leslie? Ryan something. He had a hit or two, R&B singer. She was with him when she met Diddy. So they
would have said she hung out with Santa Claus and called her husband. Listen, so when I hear these women say that, I'll be like, yo, you really? Again, I expect that from guys. I expect that.
Yes, right.
That's it. I expect it, but I expect that from guys. Why she take so long?
Yeah,
because a lot of the guys that be saying that be thinking in the back of their mind.
Yeah, it's always stupid.
Because I mean, if any woman, I know, I did that same thing to somebody. It was a long time. It was a long time ago, right? So a lot of motherfuckers don't be defending the actual person; they be defending themselves. But I'm not. That's for another day. Right. I can't believe I saw women doing that shit. Like, she takes so long.
I mean, unfortunately, Tim, I understand why you can't believe that, but I do. Because at the end of the day, even though they are the fairer sex, they are still human
people. Yeah. And people are trash.
It's that simple. The equation always comes back.
And again, we've seen other examples of this in other groups. We've seen this. Yeah. You with your whole face. You defended that act?
Yeah.
From them as if they didn't do that to your ass?
Right. Like, that's crazy.
A crazy lack of having your own interest at heart. Like, just a crazy. You don't see the parallel there.
Like, this could easily and has been you.
Yes.
But no, that's
how that works. But because it's the trash part, bro.
Yeah.
It's the trash.
I mean, it's also the naive part. Like, that could never happen to me.
I couldn't. What?
Okay.
I've been smarter than that.
Right. Okay. Okay. Like, I think the lawsuit even mentions all the power dynamics, like the fact that he was 18 years older than her, the fact that he was always bragging about his money and throwing bags of money around, the fact that he was literally her boss. Several other power dynamic issues where I'm different. I will admit, because there's no reason to front about it. I don't scoff at every power dynamic.
Right.
But when you have several,
yeah,
I can't really help you. I can't defend you much.
It's a force multiplier.
Yeah, bro. Like, if you in a situation and the person that you work for and y'all happen to hit it off, and so, depending on
that's true
other variables, okay, cool.
It also depends on the people too.
Right.
people involved.
Right. Exactly. But if you work for them and you also happen to be 20 years older, 20 years younger than them, and you also happen to be like in a situation where they're like exploiting how much money they have, and you definitely
doing a lot.
I can't condone that one.
Some of y'all are just bad people. And
some of y'all are just bad people.
And I know y'all don't want to see yourselves that way.
Like, unfortunately, we could do a insert celebrity's name is not a good person. We can do a series on that.
A whole series on it. And a lot of times people don't want to see themselves that way because everybody is, even the villain is a hero in his own story.
Correct.
So they don't want to see themselves like that. But I say that if it's hard to see because you're from the inside looking out, and if that's hard to see for you, merely look at the things you're willing to defend. Just on the surface, look at the things that you're willing to defend. That you're willing to go balls to the wall to defend. Go hard for it. Like, it's one thing to say, I got my doubts about that. Oh no, I'm talking about the stuff just think about that. Like, if you're willing to make excuses for atrocities or shit like that, but you still, because of the cognitive dissonance in your head, you still say to yourself, but I'm a good person. Bruh. Okay. All right, listen. Whatever it takes to keep you from hurting yourself once you get to the point where you get so depressed about the fact that, I really am a piece of shit. Whatever keeps you fine. You're gonna tell yourself that, but nah. And I'm sure Diddy had justifications in his head for all the shit he did.
Every single thing.
Every single thing. Yeah, justifications.
All right. Next topic. We got one more topic. It might be it's an involved one. I don't know how much time it's going to take, but it's an involved one. I don't know if we talked about this.
Pink sauce.
I don't remember because it was a while ago. So I don't think we talked about it because I didn't feel like there was enough at the time for a topic.
Right.
That's probably, or enough time had passed for some reason, whatever the case may be. But all right, so let's get into this because this is crazy. Social media reacts to pink sauce creator not knowing food products need FDA approval. All right, so there was this lady, and I believe she lived in Miami because I don't think this article goes into all of that, and it might, but whatever. She lived in Miami, and she had made a video. Here's the thing: what I'm about to say might not be 100% accurate. Doesn't matter. It'll still give the context necessary.
Okay.
She made a video. In that video, there was something pink that she was putting on one of her foods, and shit went viral, blew up all over the place. So people started asking if they could buy it and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, blah, that. Eventually, she started selling it. All right. So we're caught up. All right. By now, we know the power of the internet is great. You can be canceled in a minute, or you can quickly achieve superstardom. One woman is experiencing both after going viral for selling a newly popular condiment known simply as pink sauce. While Veronica Shaw, better known as Chef Pie, promotes the topping as a must-have for any dish, social media users are calling out its flaws. After facing scrutiny for inconsistent serving labels, packaging issues, and a host of other issues, Chef Pie decided to speak out yesterday. This article is from 2022, so this is a while ago. She says, brace yourself. Even though you heard a part of it, this is a direct quote that I'm about to say. Okay. What do you mean FDA approved? Wait, stop. Wait a minute. I don't sell medical products. Stop. The pink sauce is not a medical product. The pink sauce don't contribute to your health. I never said that it did I? So this, I blame some of this on our system, right? Because we have a heavy reliance on acronyms. But
I'm gonna put, like you said, some. There's a small
it's a very little bit. Yeah, it's a very little bit.
Percentage.
Very little bit. But bruh, what do you mean? First of all, you're wrong when you say it has nothing to do with health. Anything you ingest, anything that goes into your body,
food. First,
how do you not know what the first letter stands for food? It's Food and Drug Administration. It covers both. Like, what do you?
She thought it meant first. The first drug.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yo, hold up.
This story. It gets worse. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. She was sending. To stop from crying. She was sending out like she was shipping, and like she wasn't sending in the right containers, like food safe situations. So like there were videos where people would get their package, they would open it on camera, and it would be burst. It would be burst.
Oh,
it would be all over the place. Yeah. There would be situations where like it was this product at some point, because she's changed the recipe several times. At one point when she was shipping it, the product required refrigeration, and she was not shipping it refrigerated. It was a whole bunch of things. Nothing.
Listen. I know that there are a bunch of you out there that are going to listen to this show on Spotify and all these other places, all the streaming places. And you're going to say to yourself, damn, she's dumb.
Oh, but again.
But I need you to understand something. You may not be her type of dumb, but a lot of you. I've talked to you. I've seen your post. I've seen your comments.
I've seen what you cheer.
I've seen what you cheer for.
All right, so one tweet read in response to this bullshit. One tweet read, "The pink sauce lady don't know what the F means in FDA. Yeah, the lawsuits are pending." Another person wrote, "The pink sauce lady, after her customers all get severe food poisoning." It included a video of a woman in bed laughing and asking, "Y'all finna jump me? Be honest." Let's see. Someone. Actually, I think that's it for this article. Let me go to the next one because it's a whole thing. So the next major step in this story. Viral pink sauce creator says
sauce lady PSL.
Well, okay. Viral pink sauce lady says she's broke. Launches GoFundMe with $100,000 goal. All right. So Veronica Shaw, the TikTok creator behind the notorious pink sauce sensation last year, said that she hasn't been paid by sauce company Dave's Gourmet after they took her viral creation to Walmart stores nationwide.
Oh my goodness.
So basically what happened is after this shit happened with the FDA, and all that shit, she went back in the lab. She did what a responsible human being is supposed to do. In contrast to how dumb she was at first.
Right.
Once she acquired the new information, she went and she made adjustments.
Okay.
She worked to fix the recipe. She worked to balance it out. She worked to get the ingredients consistent and all that stuff. This company called Dave's Gourmet was like, all right, let us help you out.
You ready for prime time?
Yeah, you might be ready for prime time now. Clearly, you know how to do the marketing part of it. Let's help you with the rest of it.
Right.
And I think it was a little bit more than that, but they ended up getting in Walmart, blah, 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 blah. So that's where we are now. And the GoFundMe campaign launched last week. Shaw, again, this is from August. In a GoFundMe campaign last week, Shaw claimed that she is broke because the company that helped her sauce go legitimate isn't holding up its end of the bargain. Quote, as a young entrepreneur with big dreams, I followed my intuition and went forth toward my dreams to create something new. I made a few mistakes on the way, which led me to trust the company that's trying to take everything away from me. They lied to me, they're not paying me, and are not being transparent about records. She accused the company, which she doesn't name directly, but is almost certainly, well, it's absolutely Dave's Gourmet. She accused them of failing to reimburse her for marketing expenses that came out of her own pocket. Quote, I have been silenced and financially sabotaged. I am a single mom and I do everything for my kids. Right now, I don't even have enough money to buy my kids food on my own. End quote. In a statement shared with Blavity, a representative for Dave's Gourmet denied her allegations. Quote, Dave's Gourmet has adhered to the terms of the agreement with Ms. Shaw. We disagree with Ms. Shaw's allegations. End quote. It continues.
That's a denial, but that first one was not.
Well, it continues.
The deal could be ass.
Well, that's true. It continues. Dave's Gourmet has paid Chef Pie over $120,000 to date, and continue. This is within 8 months. And it continues to make all payments as due and on time.
They're still paying her.
Yeah. As due and on time based upon the terms of the contract. We've also offered to reimburse Ms. Shaw for her lawyer's time to go over the terms of the agreement and how it relates to the payments that were made. She indicated that she's open to an amicable resolution of the dispute and the parties are in discussions. The initial version of the sauce was controversial after it proved it wasn't FDA approved, which Shaw suggested at one point that it didn't need to be because it wasn't a medical product. There were also reports of the sauce exploding in the mail, which was all the more distressing to customers because it cost $20 a bottle. All the
not to mention, what you got on your clothes.
Well, nigga, all the viral attention eventually led to Dave's Gourmet partnering with Shaw to bring the sauce to Walmart across over 4,000 stores and online. The sauce was launched earlier this year and concluded its availability in July. Quote, our research and development team was able to reformulate the sauce to match Chef Pie's exact color and flavor profile for the product, and at the same time, change some of the ingredients to make the sauce less complicated, dairy-free, and clean of any preservatives, artificial flavors, or colors. The public will end up receiving a shelf-stable version of the sensational sauce that Chef. That was the statement they put out when the partnership started. So now, this last article. Food company slams pink sauce founder, says it's considering a defamation lawsuit.
Oh, damn.
Food company is considering filing a defamation lawsuit against pink sauce founder Veronica Shaw, who alleged in a GoFundMe effort that it failed to pay her and be transparent about business records. In a lengthy statement outlining a timeline of events, Dave's Gourmet LLC claimed it had given Shaw a total of $161,449.37 since entering into a partnership in August 2022, including cash advances and past due rent payouts. The company's assertions contradict what Shaw shared in her Help Get Justice for the Pink Sauce GoFundMe, which has received $24,000 donation from Dallas Maverick star Kyrie Irving. All right, let me pause real quick. Kyrie Irving is a known dumbass, and he is dangerous.
Yeah.
The reason he is dangerous is because he is a celebrity.
Right.
And celebrities have people thinking, oh, yeah, they must be right.
It's another must be smart. They use now called influencers.
Yeah. It worked for them.
Right.
Clearly it's going to work for me.
Right.
And a bunch of that thing doesn't work. Like, all right.
No.
Let's give the example. Let's give the real life example of Kyrie with the vaccine.
Yes.
Okay. Kyrie didn't get the vaccine. I'm not going to get the vaccine. Here's the thing about that.
Professional
Kyrie is a world-class athlete in the prime of his life, in the top, well, a little bit past his prime, but in the top shape that a human could possibly be in.
You are a 60-year-old.
It's an immune disease. So right. His immunity is
the odds are
compared
he gonna have a sniffle. You a 60-year-old round mound of rebound. All right, you gonna run this motherfucker.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. People don't consider the fucking outside potential of anything. They see 1-to-1. That's what it is.
They think they're a 1-to-1 with that person.
Bro, there are variables. Anyway.
The lack of nuance is killing me.
Oh, it's killing me. Literally. Yeah. The Griot reached out to Shaw multiple times when she first brought forth the allegations, and again after Dave's released their newest statement. She has yet to respond to at least 4 requests for comments. Let me see if I can find the whole statement. I think this is it. Yep. Oh shit. See, I was going to use this as a topic a couple weeks ago, and for some reason I didn't.
Mind your business.
Yeah, cut it out. And at that point in time, they had released a statement, but they hadn't put it on anything official. I could only find it on a blog post.
Right.
It's now on their website. Pink Sauce and Dave Gourmet partnership timeline. In August 2022, Dave's Gourmet LLC, which will be referred to henceforth as DG, signed an agreement with Veronica Shaw, who will be referred to moving forward as Shaw, and her entities, Pink Sauce LLC, PS LLC, and Flavor Crazy Inc. FC, in which FC, PS LLC, Shaw were responsible for promoting Pink Sauce, which will be PS, through the digital content requirement to post about PS on social media at least 3 times a week. And DG was in charge of achieving the required shelf stability for the product, making the formula acceptable for commercial production and following FDA's food protection guidelines, production and sales of the PS product online to retailers. At the time, Shaw was not producing PS because FDA instructed her to cease all production due to quality concerns. She was making PS in her kitchen and was shipping it without refrigeration in the heat of the summer, and the sauce frequently went bad during shipping, as evidenced by many social media posts from buyers.
Man, the sauce was not
PS. There's some PS. Oh. The sauce was not shelf stable, and was not safe for shipping without refrigeration. There was huge negative publicity online and on social media due to the quality issues that Shaw had experienced. According to that agreement, Shaw received an upfront payment of $45,000 as a part of the agreement for DG to pursue the sales of PS. According to the agreement,
that part right there is confusing to me. So they gave her $47,000,
45
or $45,000 to. Was that money supposed to go for a specific thing, or was just here? Take this.
It was, I guess, the equivalent of a signing bonus. Okay. According to the agreement.
If anybody out there that's listening to this wants to give us a signing bonus of $45,000,
I mean, nigga. According to the agreement, Shaw was responsible for all of the refunds for the products that predated the agreement. After the agreement was signed, we learned that neither Shaw nor her entities had enough funds to cover all of the refunds to the people who never received the products that she was responsible for, according to the agreement. There was a hold put by Shopify and PayPal on most of the cash in Shaw's accounts due to multiple customer complaints, and even the cash that was there was mostly not available to pay refunds. DG couldn't see the customers disappointed with no product and no refund, so DG provided approximately $30,000 to cover the refunds.
Even though $30,000, even though how much this shit cost individually,
$20.
$20, bro. If that shit cost $20 and they had to pay $30,000 in refunds,
bruh. Now here's the thing. That whole $30,000 might not have been refunds. Some of it might have been whatever fees she incurred.
That's true.
With the several different payment businesses like PayPal and all that. So that could be a part of it too. But still, that's a lot of fucking money.
It is, because I'm thinking how much those fees would have been. Like,
bruh, they wouldn't have been. I mean, unless they were per transaction.
5,000.
Maybe.
I mean,
yeah, maybe.
That's so 25,000.
Bruh.
Jeez.
Right. Some of these funds came back to DG later in the year after the hold on Shaw's account was lifted by PayPal and Shopify. Prior to entering the partnership with DG, Shaw reviewed and negotiated the agreement with the help from her attorney. According to the agreement, Shaw receives royalties that depend on the gross profit that the company makes on the sales of PS, and there's a milestone payment if certain goals are met. The royalty payments are based on gross profit because at the time we did not know what the PS product would cost, given that it contains expensive ingredients like dragon fruit that needed to be factored in. When we negotiated this agreement, we walked Shaw and her attorney through the difference between sales and gross profit to make sure that everyone is on the same page. All payments have been communicated and paid on time in accordance with the agreement. DG also advised Shaw that PS royalties should not be her only source of income as they can fluctuate. So basically, we're telling her like, oh, okay, it continues. She should have a regular job to make sure that she has financial stability. At the time, DG did not know if any sales would be generated from PS. In the fall of 2022, in the fall of 2022, Shaw was struggling financially. DG decided to be helpful, and over the course of several months, provided Shaw with multiple cash advances that totaled more than $40,000 without charging Shaw interest or fees. These advances were supposed to be offset by the future royalties that Shaw was going to earn. In March 2023, Shaw communicated that she had spent the entirety of her previous advances and that she needed another advance to feed her children and avoid being evicted. DG sent her 2 advances that totaled $5,000, but again encouraged her to continue working her other job.
Was she working her other job? Did she quit that?
I don't know if she did at that point or not. Encouraged her to continue working her other job and pursue her private chef career as she had been doing prior to partnering to commercially produce pink sauce. Shaw wanted to know more about activities related to PS at DG. In the beginning of 2023, the DG team set up a weekly standing meeting to discuss the brand strategy and collaborate with Shaw. Shaw attended only a couple of these meetings and has not been in attendance since. February 2023, Shaw requested over $10,000 in marketing expenses to throw herself a birthday party and also asked DG to pay for her dress that cost more than $800 and shoes which cost over $600 that would potentially be used in a TikTok video. DG suggested a smaller budget, and because DG would not approve these expenses, Shaw distanced herself from DG's collaborative marketing efforts. February 2023, Shaw attempted to submit business expense reports for personal expenses, like buying 4 pairs of sneakers or expensing her entire grocery bills. And they got a link for the receipts. They kept the receipts of the receipts.
Got the receipts.
DG informed her that such activities are fraudulent and asked a lot of questions related to receipts submitted. Shaw did not respond to any of those questions. May 2023, due to the large advances on Shaw's royalty payment and the deduction of refunds covered by DG related to the period prior to this agreement, the balance of milestone royalty payment owed to Shaw came to $666.86. DG decided to hold off on deducting $10,000 in advances from the royalties due until a later time period, so that Shaw would have more funds to cover her needs at that time, and instead paid Shaw $10,668. This balance and all payments processed have been outlined and communicated to Shaw consistently. DG deduced the above-mentioned advances of $10,000 at the second quarter royalty payment. The Q2 royalty payment due was less than $10,000. So the net effect was that Shaw had a negative balance of $6,005. that she owed to DG due to the previous advances taken. Contrary to Shaw's belief, both Q1 and Q2 royalty payments are calculated in exactly the same way. The only difference is the deduction of the advance for Q2. We clearly explained this deduction to Shaw in our email and offered to walk her and her attorney through the calculation. June 2023, Shaw submitted an expense report to DG that included a request for payment for her time dedicated to making social media content since October 2022, 1,400 hours at $90 per hour in Shaw's invoice. Such request was outside of the terms of the agreement, as Shaw's compensation per the agreement was through royalties, and there was no provision to compensate her on a per hour basis.
Got that. For those of you who are not familiar with this sort of thing, it's called four corners.
Yeah.
Four corners of the contract. If you thought that was going to be something you wanted to get paid for, y'all should have negotiated that shit in that contract initially.
Yep. DG asked for clarifications related to the various other expenses listed by Shaw in the invoice, but backups, receipts, and explanations were not provided. Shaw informed DG that she did not need to provide us with the receipts or explanations to get reimbursed.
Really? Interesting.
DG reminded Shaw that business expenses need to be pre-approved by DG. Dave's Gourmet has kept this timeline of information private until Shaw went to social media with defamatory statements
now it's all out now
regarding the integrity of our business, which has put us in an unfortunate position to share details that would have otherwise remained private. In total, Shaw has received $147,449.37 in payments from her partnership with Dave's Gourmet NPS since August of 2022. To date. We initially told the journalist that she received more than $120,000 because they didn't have all of the they didn't add it all up yet. And they have a link to the bank confirmations. It is our understanding that Shaw probably spent about $10,000 of this amount to buy video recording equipment, props, clothes, and accessories that would be used to promote PS, but we have not seen the receipts confirming this. Because of all the advances provided to Shaw, the funds sent to Shaw exceed what she has earned under the terms of the agreement. In addition, Shaw had certain obligations in the agreement related to her social media activities that she has violated multiple times. DG reminded Shaw multiple times that she needs to adhere to the terms of the agreement, but she ignored DG's request. After Shaw went to social media to create the illusion that she is not being compensated properly, DG communicated to both Shaw and her attorney that DG will cover the cost of Shaw's legal counsel to go through the provisions of the agreement and the payments to confirm that the payments were correct. And DG is following the agreement because this is Shaw's legal counsel. We could not pay him directly, and that is why we proposed to reimburse Shaw for those expenses. This proposal was rejected by Shaw. It goes on. DG's consistent support of Shaw was rooted in our desire for a successful partnership. Our primary objective throughout this partnership was to ensure the successful commercialization of PS while upholding our company's values of integrity, transparency, and committed to our partners and customers. Unfortunately, despite DG's continuous efforts to maintain a constructive relationship with Shaw, our efforts were met with recurrent challenges. In August 2023, we sent multiple messages to Shaw and her attorney suggesting creative ways to mitigate the issues and have an amicable working relationship. In return, we received a message from Shaw that DG would need to pay her $1.5 million.
I knew that was coming.
If we want to continue selling PS. The current agreement in place is evergreen, and DG does not need any special extension payments, renewals, or permissions from Shaw to continue selling PS under the terms of the agreement. So Shaw's request was odd and did not make any sense. On August 25th, Shaw notified DG that she was being evicted from her apartment that weekend due to unpaid rent. DG scheduled a call with Shaw and for approximately 2 hours discussed our proposal on how the relationship could work in the future. This proposal required Shaw to post the PS-related content on social media twice a week, which is less than the original. She was supposed to originally do it 3 times. And included bi-weekly. What up? And included bi-weekly payments to Shaw to provide her with a stable level of income for a period of time. She agreed in principle, with DG's proposal, but wanted her attorney to finalize the deals. Shaw then asked for assistance with her overdue rent. DG wanted to be helpful, but hesitated given the prior history with Shaw. DG preferred to wait until the new agreement with Shaw was fully in place before providing any help, but that was not possible over the weekend since Shaw's attorney would need to be involved and he was not available on the weekend. And by Monday, Shaw would have been evicted. In the spirit of future cooperation and creating goodwill with Shaw,
this again?
DG took another chance on Shaw and paid off her past due rent, totaling $14,000. With this additional payment, the total funds sent to Shaw equal $161,449.37 that weekend, and prevented her and her children from being evicted. Linked to the confirmations. That backfired for DG. No surprise here, given the history. The following week, DG sent a legal draft of our proposal discussed on the call with Shaw to her attorney. Shaw indicated that her attorney would come back to us, but he never did. In the meantime, we received another strange demand from Shaw for $250,000. And then she posted her recent video on social media with false accusations directed at DG. None of them have any merit, and bear in mind, she posted this video shortly after DG helped her and her children not get evicted. We received many messages from people encouraging us to sue Shaw for defamation. We are considering all options, including a lawsuit, but also are mindful of the distractions that it will cause for our organization and the difficulty of collecting any court-awarded damages from Shaw, given that she had spent all the funds.
You ain't getting shit. Listen.
We are family-owned business, and our reputation is dear to us. We are asking for your support. Shaw's GoFundMe page containing false claims is still live. We have reported the GoFundMe for fraud. She lied there that she did not receive any payments, but now is admitting publicly that she has received over $120,000 in payments. But GoFundMe is not taking the action to remove Shaw's page, where she's asking for funds under false pretenses. Please consider reporting the page or asking for a refund if you have donated. Kyrie Irving from the Dallas Mavericks donated $24,000. Probably without knowing the facts, of course, because he does everything without knowing the facts.
Yeah, I was about to say,
we want other people to have factual information on this case prior to considering making a donation. We hope that people share the facts on social media about the sequence of events related to this matter, so that Shaw can no longer spread misinformation about our company. Needs to say we are very disappointed in the status of our partnership with Shaw, but we hope that you will still give us the opportunity to share our products with you. We have a huge selection of both flavor. Blah 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 blah. So here's the thing. Fuck companies, and her deal was a sham for both parties. She basically got swindled out of her product. However, she had who she claimed is her attorney look at that deal.
Yeah, buddy.
Not they came to her with a deal and they provided her an attorney. No,
she had her own attorney.
Had her own attorney, and the only thing unreasonable about the deal is the fact that they effectively own her property.
Yeah, they own it.
Everything else was reasonable. Post 3 times a week, and you get. It was literally post 3 times a week. And you get fucking royalties from the payment.
And she don't even have to make it anymore.
Right. She don't have to manufacture it. Right.
Do you know how much my wife would love if somebody else was manufacturing her shit? Fuck out of here.
Effectively, I said that wrong. They did not swindle her out of her product. They swindled her out of her product's name. Because what they are selling is not what she was selling.
Right.
Because they had to recreate the formula.
Yeah, because her formula.
To make it actually, like, edible.
Yeah. Like, it was impossible to. I want to talk about what Stella said that she could have done. See, let me tell you something. This is my whole point, too. Because what you wind up seeing was a pattern of this shit. Yeah. So she started off not knowing that the FDA.
Bruh.
Right? So you already starting off not and for those of you that are online thinking about creating a business or something like that, let me caution you. There are a lot of pitfalls, and social media moves very quickly.
Yeah.
So one moment, don't nobody give a fuck about what you're doing. The next moment, a bunch of motherfuckers want to buy your shit.
Yep.
And it is tempting to get these sales real quick and do that without doing the other stuff. The other stuff being getting your business paperwork together. I'm handling certain situations with taxes, making sure that you have a lawyer or some shit, or looking into the product that you're actually selling these people and see if there's any kind of legal liabilities or responsibilities for you that you have to do if you can even sell this shit, right?
Right.
A lot of people don't do that because social media comes at you fast. That viral shit comes at you fast. She did none of those things. And she started off from a knowledge base that had a bunch of holes in it anyway, right? So then we gave her points when she went and tried to do what she needed to do to get that shit straight. But see, the issue is inherent, and that's why.
She's broken.
Yes, she's broken because it went back to that loop again, right? All this shit took place. They was giving her money, basically, and keeping the receipts, drawing her in, drawing her in, drawing in. They took her shit. Basically, they can make it without her permission now.
Yeah,
right.
We can sell this in perpetuity.
We can sell this in perpetuity now. And here's the thing: they told her keep a day job.
Yeah.
The reason why they told her to keep a day job is because of the deal they gave her. They knew that wasn't you're not gonna be super rich.
And legitimately, after all the backlash that she caused,
yes,
they didn't know if it was going to sell or not.
They didn't know if it was going to sell or not. Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of things in this that are lessons for those of you starting out doing some sort of online business. I've been doing online business shit for some years. My wife was doing it before me. There are a shit ton of rules that you might not know about depending on your product or your service because you think the internet is the Wild West. Yep. It is not. Right? No. There are regulations depending on what you're selling or what the service is. And you need to do your due diligence because you are the steward of your company. Yep. These people wanted to cash in on her viral shit. That's what it was.
Thanks.
And then I'm going to tell you something else. Her not knowing all that shit put a big red light on her forehead that says sucker. Like sucker. And they looked at her and went, you don't know shit. Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah, it's the rare combination of being predatory and above board.
Yep.
And above board.
Think about it. If you're a predatory company that goes into predatory practices, right? You have to work a lot less to be a predator with someone who's uninformed.
Yep.
You don't have to do too much sneaky this. This person don't know shit. So here, this is what we're gonna give you. Okay. And we'll take that. Okay.
Yeah.
But she has other issues outside of all of that. And I knew the $1 million ask was coming.
Bruh.
I knew it was coming. I knew if you guys can't do business, you gotta give me 1.5. Now here's the thing she don't know.
No, I don't.
At all. Right. Here's the thing she don't know, or she hasn't yet come to grips with about herself. They could have given you that 1.5 million, and you still would have been right where you are.
Oh, because absolutely.
If we look at the chain of behavior.
Yeah, you would have went through all that money.
You'd have went through all that shit.
Absolutely.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. You're bad at taking care of your funds. You're bad at a lot of shit. And because of that, it was easy for them to take advantage of you. So basically, I look at it like this. There are no good guys here.
No, everyone sucks.
There are no good guys here. Yeah. Everyone sucks. Everyone sucks
here. Now, I will say, technically, Dave's Gourmet is in the right.
Yeah. Oh, it's a race.
Yeah.
One moment, she sucks more. This moment, they suck more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, bruh.
Exactly. Stella said there's always a man behind the man, behind the man, behind the throne. even if you own your own business, someone is going to get paid. This is the thing.
Right.
People don't seem to get this right. This is the same. And I get some ways, I get her thinking, but she was just ass backwards with it. The reality is you can own 100% of something that doesn't generate money.
Yep.
And the only thing you have to pat yourself on the back about and toot your horn about is, I own this. Yeah, but this doesn't make money. Does it make fiduciary sense for a larger company to come by and say, hey, we have resources, we have reach, you have a great product.
Mm-hmm.
We will help you get this product out to more people, but we require to own a bit of equity in your shit.
Yeah.
Right now, you made a couple of $100 over the past 3 weeks. By the time they get their hands on it, that shit, and by the way, you get to keep all that couple of $100.
Right.
But by the time they get their hands on it, you might be making thousands of dollars a week on this product.
Mm-hmm.
And the cut, that's your cut, thousands of dollars, as opposed to a couple of $100 every couple of weeks, right?
Right.
You feel me? So it does make sense. I've seen people get trapped up on that shit too.
Absolutely.
I want to own my shit. Like, yo,
okay,
listen, your shit doesn't make money.
Correct.
So you own 100% of something that's not giving you anything. But if they come in and you give them a percentage, and they got by the way, if this is a larger company with a shit ton of resources, if you think you walking away with that, with the lion's share of that equity, you're bugging.
Absolutely,
you're bugging.
No.
And it's not necessarily a case of, oh, they trying to get me. Nah, is that they're about to spend a shit ton of money as a risk to elevate that product or that service that you came up with in your home.
Thanks.
So that's money on an investment. You haven't even paid that amount of money on your shit that they're about to pay on your shit.
Yo, so she asked him for $10,000 for a birthday party.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Yo, it's a pattern there. Yo, you got to pay $600 for these shoes. Are you? What?
You can't afford $600 shoes. Clearly,
it's just
you can't afford a $800 dress.
You can't come to us talking about give me $10,000 to throw this party when we've had situations with you where you're about to get thrown out of your fucking house.
Bro, you're not doing the one thing that you're supposed to be doing. We need 3 videos a week. Is that a lot? Sure. But given what you have to do and what you stand to gain, and
also the fact that you're no longer doing production. See, this is the thing. You're no longer doing product production.
Right.
You got time to do 3 videos, B.
Absolutely, you do.
And if they didn't give you a time,
take the weekend, make 6.
Make 6. And you can take the
next weekend. Next weekend, make 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you 4 weeks ahead.
Facts.
Next weekend, make 6.
Yes.
Like, but
this is simple. This is simple shit. And they ain't say how long the videos had to be. So you could literally be doing these 1 minute
30s. And she blew up on TikTok.
Which don't require you
to
do long form content.
Not at all. She could legitimately record one long video and chop that shit up.
Bro, it's real simple how you do it. Real simple. She could literally be doing ingredients, a process, and breaking it down in them little bites. Breaking them down. Little bites.
Or make a batch. Record yourself making a batch.
Record yourself making a batch. Yeah.
Don't give specific ingredients and measurements. Record yourself making a batch. That's 3 to 4 videos on TikTok. Like, bro, what are you talking about? And record the action, record a voiceover for it. There you go.
How long ago was this? What's up, Loss?
This last, I think the last update I saw was from a month ago.
Okay, so I mean, how long has the PSL lady been in business?
The end of 21 or the beginning of 22.
Okay, so there's no excuse. There's no excuse not to make 3 videos. It's not. It's not.
I can't help her.
A week,
bruh.
Take the weekend off. Take one day out of the weekend,
bruh.
6.
Yeah, it's really that simple. If you feel like you want to go hard, record 6 Saturday, record 6 Sunday.
Yep. Now you
Next week, record 6 Saturday, record 6 Sunday. Next week, record 6 Saturday. Now you're months ahead.
If you just work a little bit for 2 months, you got the rest of the year off, or most of the rest of the year off, because you can start up again creating videos in November and shit. Take November, December to create all the videos for the next year. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. All thanks.
Nah.
Yeah.
But like you said, everybody sucks here.
Everybody sucks here. I mean, to be like, taking my bias out, I can't call it a race.
Mm-hmm.
I can't call it a race because DG only did one thing wrong. It was nefarious.
Right.
But all they did was snake her out of the name. Everything else they did was technically above board. So it's like, even though they're not stupid, clearly. They're not the B side of this. They're the A side, clearly. So I mean, everybody sucks here, but it's not a race. They did one thing, and she just kept digging the hole.
This right here. With the amount of money they gave her, she could have had money to live on. Like yo,
nigga,
we not doing that.
She could have paid a couple people money to shoot them reacting or tasting, and then she could have paid somebody to shoot it, pay somebody to edit it, and get been good.
Whole reaction series,
right?
With just
she could have literally been the producer.
Yeah.
But nope. All right. Moving on to weekend review.
So I don't know what you got, but allow me to start.
Oh, I'm fussing. So
I figured you would. I have a few things. First of all, again, Kickstarter is up.
Yeah.
Those of you want to get your hands on Extra and Entropy issue 2, Shattered Alliance. About the, excuse me for 1 second. Put the link in again right here. Those of you that are interested in that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's first foremost. Let me put that out there. We
get
have
in on it.
We have We have reached our goal. Like we're over the goal.
Absolutely.
We still got over 20 plus days left to go. So see what we do with that. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I first started telling you guys about the saga of the bulk trash.
Yeah.
And I told you about how we just couldn't seem to get that shit right, like at all. And a lot of that had to do with the very confusing instructions of the city that we live in now.
Absolutely.
Their shit is all over the place to the point where it's confusing everybody, which made them feel like they needed to do some special days to get people to dump shit because people were confused on when they were supposed to put stuff up.
Yeah.
It was going to cost them money to do it and all this other shit. Well, I was told this week somebody was hired to take the shit. Finally, let's get that the fuck out of here. Please. Tired of looking at it. And I was also told, don't worry, you ain't got to do nothing. I know you be doing your show. They're going to take care of all of it. Oh, cool. Because, the person that lifted to get all of that shit out there in the first place, the person that put it back and forth on a fucking was me and my son. Mostly me. I'm 54, so I'm put that on.
You are 1,000
years old. You know what I'm saying? This morning, I'm getting things ready. Getting things ready for the show. As I usually do.
Mm-hmm.
I hear some noise going on outside.
Commotion.
Yes. I said, that must be the guy coming to get that trash. Finally, get all the stuff out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to set up for the show, and then I get called, summoned. Yes. You need your help to come out here and get. Wait,
yeah.
What?
What about the
I was told, but now we here.
What about the journeyman that you paid?
I go outside. This is a younger man. I wouldn't say we're the same size, height maybe, probably a little more, whatever, but still. What the fuck? No problem. My son comes outside. We move all the stuff into the truck. That's not to say he didn't try to take some of the stuff by himself. He did. He 100% did. When I came out there, it was some of the stuff that was on the truck, right? The fact that I had to go out there in the first place annoyed me because I was told.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do that.
Right. Why didn't you have a partner with him?
Right. Especially since I've done it a couple of occasions. All right. What the fuck? That annoyed me. It also distracted me. There were certain things that I had in motion,
right,
that I forgot about because I go do that and I came back. Now it's not that big of a deal, but it was annoying.
Yeah,
and you know how much I hate to be annoyed because I'm a grump.
Well,
it is what it is, but that doesn't mean I like to be irritated. I like to be annoyed. It just means that I'm a grump. I get irritated by a lot of things fairly quickly. And the older I get, the more irritated I get.
Yeah.
About certain shit that doesn't need to be that way. And to that point, when I do get into my elderly years, you know what my fondest wish is to have something to do.
Right.
The reason you hear these stories about older people being fuss budgets and nags is because those small things that they're going on about, making a big deal about, are actually a big deal to them.
Yeah, it's their life.
See, once the thing that they did that they defined themselves with, and we really need to have a talk about work culture. Once those things are no longer available for them to do, it leaves a hole. That hole has to be filled somehow. So it's going to be filled with things that everybody else who's busy is going to see as nonsensical or not of any great urgency. I have seen this before with a lot of older people, especially family members. They are on 10 about something that's a 2. It's a 2. And I see that and I say to myself, this is one of those moments where you need to check yourself because you're getting older. You don't want to be that. No, you don't want to be that. You need stuff to do. So I probably will never retire in the true sense. I will always be writing comic books or something creative to that extent because I need a sense of proportion in my life, you see, where I don't take something that's a 2 and make it a 10.
Right.
And I have literally seen this too many times for it to be a coincidence, for it to be some shit that, no. You hyped up about that because that's all you got to be hyped up about all day. All right. So the rest of us, we got stuff going on, and you don't. And don't think that travel is it will solve that either, because it won't, unless you're traveling all the time. Right? All the time. That's not going to solve it. I know this from examples that I have seen. No. And here's the next thing. So the leaves in my backyard, AKA, man, fuck them leaves.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we first moved here. The few pictures that I have shared of my backyard on social media, because of the angle of the dangle, you can't see a lot of the times where the patches are.
Mm-hmm.
First moved here, there were quite a few patches back there, especially in the corner on the right side, far right corner. And when it rained, mud, right? And I hated it. It looked horrible. Cut the grass, you see these big dumbass patches. I hated it. So it's a bunch of trees, a plethora of trees surrounding my backyard. So that means during fall, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Absolutely.
So the first year, we endeavored to get that shit up. And it was a nightmare because I have a fairly nice sized backyard. Nightmare. And there's a bunch of leaves from a bunch of different trees. Like, that shit was a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Then I saw something about, man, leave them leaves where they at. I'll tell you why. The first and foremost is what I was interested in when I first saw it. Leaves create a natural mulch that helps to suppress weeds and fertilize the soil as it breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
Leaves absorb rain and release moisture into the soil and plants, improving yard health and reducing runoff. Just saying. Leaves reduce soil erosion and regulate the soil temperature. So why the fuck are we getting rid of the leaves? There are a few downsides. One, mold. Turns out, a bunch of leaves can cause mold, which isn't really good for some of the plants you might have in the backyard. But there's a way to alleviate that. You just take your lawnmower and you mulch that shit up.
Yeah.
And leave it there. Unfortunately, though, because of aesthetics, a lot of people remove. I don't like to see all these leaves all over the place. This is what I have to deal with every year. Every year, I'm like, hey, mulch this shit up. All right, leave it there. Only for me to find somebody was paid. I hear somebody in my backyard. Somebody was paid to go out there and get the leaves and shit up. But one year I managed to do it. And I saw the results instantly. Instantly the next summer. Because that patch that was bald as fuck was filled in. We have a working example of it working. So why am I going through this again with the idea that no, I refuse. This is what I'm pissed off about, though. It rained today.
Ooh.
Yeah. So what I really wanted to do after the show was grab that lawnmower. Because I know one day I'm going to look out that window and see people out there working because they got paid to go out there and do that.
Right.
I'm willing to go out there and mulch this shit up. Just leave it there. Because it's good for the grass.
It is good for the grass.
It just is. Stella says leaves are also homes for bees and other pollinating insects through the winter. Hope it's not wasps, because you know how many wasps get down.
Oh, God.
Just saying. Not with it. We got this this thing. You know what I'm saying? Birds now, but he was.
No, you're not. I keep
listen.
That was a ploy. No, that was a ploy to lull you into false security, and it worked.
Look, obviously it worked. All right, because I ain't even seen them around here. The geese they're biting the house on the
they're biting. They're just biding their time.
But other than that, yeah, that was kind of my week. It was a very domestic week. With smoke, trash, and leaves.
Oh god. So I have a letter.
Shit.
Quick. From my old doctor's office.
Oh shit.
The office has been trying to get a hold of you to schedule an in-office appointment. Please call our office to schedule an appointment.
Excuse me. I don't fuck with y'all anymore. He did it on air. He did it on air.
Fuck yo. What do you mean? Like how at this point? At this point, you should assume one of two things.
Yeah.
That I don't fuck with you, or that unfortunately I've expired.
Yeah, exactly.
One of two things should be the assumption. If for some reason you can't get in contact with the insurance company to find out that I actually have a different doctor now,
right?
Then I don't know.
You know what this is about. See, I hate this, bro, because what this is about is that insurance money they get. It's the same.
Oh
shit.
Yeah,
it's the same shit. My doctor's pulled this week, so I was running out of pills. I need my refill.
Yeah.
Give my shit. I called to get the refill done. I called Walmart, tell them, hey, I need these refilled. Then I called the doctor's office because I wanted to make sure, double sure. I'll be going out of town in a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I got my shit.
Absolutely.
So right after I do all that, I talked to the lady at the front desk of the medical center. Says, all right, cool. Yeah, got that. Then I get another phone call. How do I know if you can come in this week? Mind you, I've already had my yearly physical checkup, blood work, all that. There is no reason for me to be going in. I'm also busy with a Kickstarter campaign and other business concerns.
Thanks.
Pulling me up in that motherfucker. And I said, why would you want me to come in? You have all my blood work. You have all that shit that I already got the results on. And what the fuck do you? Nah, it's some insurance shit. It's some insurance shit. Come in, they get another, payment from the insurance company. That's all it is, bro. That's what they're trying to do to you.
Yeah, absolutely. They won't see me again. It just is what it is. I have no reason to go back there.
No reason.
Like the only benefit at this point that they have over my new doctor is they're closer, but they're like a minute and a half closer.
And you driving, so
yeah, that don't matter. It's no effect. Next, always assume there's music. Justin EP still streaming.
Always assume that there is music,
and it's available on Bandcamp. Power still out there streaming. Latest single. No, it's not the latest single anymore. I need to change that. They'll Never Get Me Down is out on all streaming platforms. Latest single, Move Aside, is still out there on all streaming platforms. Go run that up.
Run that up.
Also, I'm putting the final touches on the whole album, which will be out on December 21st. If I get what I need to get done, negative. I have until Monday to finish everything.
Bro, I've been there. This reminds me of Entropic, man. The Entropic world. I had so many issues finishing that shit up time for the Halloween release. Like,
yeah. One of the issues I have is I have to record an entire song.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's Saturday, so by Monday, I also have to remix and remaster all the shit I sent you. I only got through one of them.
Right.
So yeah, I still got a lot of work ahead of me. I'll be spending a lot of time right here between now and Monday night. So vacation. The cruise. Hold on, let me just double check. Just to be 100% sure, because I was going to say about, but I don't got to about this. I have.
Wait a minute. Turn to the side for a minute. Let me see your headphones.
Which side am I turning to?
Either side, doesn't matter. I just want to see something.
I think they.
What is that symbol on there?
Which one?
On the that's your right side. The symbol on the headphones. On that part of it.
I'm not taking my headphones off.
Don't take them off. What symbol is it?
I don't know.
Hold on, let me see. All right, that's it. It
so
looks like you got the same ones I got. Well,
I might have gotten the idea from you. Possibly. I mean, the mic, clearly.
That's true.
So the cruise is 21 days away. Dawn just asked me, like, oh, who's going? The beauty of this is I do not know. Now she gets annoyed when I tell her I don't know when she asks about trips. Why don't I know?
Because you ain't planning it.
I did not plan this trip. And I do not care who's going. I told people about it. I gave them the information. Just Chris's sister is the only person who has sent me confirmation that they're going. I had to explain to Dawn that this is not my trip. I have an idea of Chrissy's people who will be there, but I haven't committed it to memory. Because again, I don't care who's going to be there. I will be away from this place for more than a week. I will have access to the person I'm dating.
Right.
I will have access to someone who's effectively my little sister, just Chris's sister. It's my little sister. I will have access to her. I will have sun. I will have water. I will have alcohol. I will have food.
Hold up. Let's talk about it. You'll have sun,
water, alcohol, and food. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
I don't. Come on now. Another thing happened, because that's one of the things that gave me validation about my decision. Another thing that has happened that gave me validation. It makes me feel vindicated. These amazing friends of mine are children. I talked about this first thing, but for my birthday last year, these niggas got me a griddle, but not just any griddle, a gas-powered griddle. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Can't fucking use that thing, but it's cool because I'll be moving within the year. So, all right, I'll be in a place where I can actually use it. Cool, no harm, no foul. It's not like I was like, yo, take this shit back. I knew eventually I'd be able to use it. Yeah, so that's cool. But randomly, a few weeks ago, Feb hits the group chat and says, why haven't we used the griddle yet? And I'm like, nigga, I told you we have to do this at your house because me and Marcus live in apartments.
Yeah,
you can't use a propane griddle inside the apartment. No, can't do that. Can't do
really. No.
Gas tends to explode. So, and here's the thing. Would we be fine? Probably. But it's not a risk that's worth it.
Listen, Hank Hill.
Bro, it's not a risk that's worth it. Like,
it's not.
It's I would feel much more comfortable if we were outside.
It's definitely not worth it. It's definitely
right. So like a week after that or something like that, I was like, okay, Fab, you mentioned using the griddle. Let's do Friendsgiving. I said, let's do Friendsgiving. I gave a date. I gave it's gonna be a brunch, not a dinner or a breakfast. It's gonna be a brunch. All right, cool. Everybody's like, yeah, okay, cool. So Thursday, I texted the group chat, hey, we got a little over a week. What exactly are we doing for this Friendsgiving? Because the last thing that's gonna happen is me planning everything,
right,
and cooking everything.
Right.
No, we're not doing that. Everyone except Chrissy forgot everything.
Damn.
And literally reverted to this fake ass planning mode that they go into. What is this fake ass planning mode? You might ask?
What is that, by the way?
That's when people start asking questions and like saying things that sound like they're trying to plan, but nobody gives any actual plans.
And also nobody does anything that's actionable.
No, nothing actionable was done. Luckily, at that time, because things have changed since I wrote these notes. At that time, luckily, Chrissy had stepped in because I was legit contemplating on not responding. And we would have just seen what was going to happen. Well, even after Chrissy stepped in,
I was about to crash everything out. Like,
bruh, listen, even after Chrissy stepped in, she was able to get them to reconfirm all the shit we already confirmed.
Oh, damn.
And then she says something to the effect of, okay, so let's get a menu so we know what we got to get. We can divvy up, pick who got to do what, blah, blah, blah. Crickets. So, as of right now, this ain't happening. I'm not, listen. See, because I came on here and I mentioned that I was thinking a while ago and mentioned that I was considering stopping the group trips. Some people that don't know me personally that listen to the show might think that I'm not someone that I'm wishy-washy. They might think that.
Allow me to disabuse y'all of those notions.
Bruh.
Please allow me to disabuse.
If you've been listening recently and you heard the 2-week saga with my father recently, you kind of understand that I'm not. My ability to stand on things is legendary.
Niggas' necks.
It's legendary. Listen, I'm not going to bring it up again.
He's not. And listen,
I'm not.
If y'all think, to who it may concern, be it in the past or in the future, if you think he's going to bring this up again, I will just say to you that if I said was what I said was a person,
listen. These are effectively minus 1 or 2 people that are not in this group.
They know you though.
Come
on, bro.
Best friends.
Yes, like come on, bro.
It's not gonna happen. They better if they want this to happen, they better start talking about it. Because
somebody got.
I'm not bringing it up. I'm not bringing it up.
And actually, got to do more to talk about.
Yeah,
like do some.
They got a week. It's supposed to happen next Saturday.
Oh,
so
bro,
listen. I want this to happen.
I know you
absolutely. Do. Yeah, I love spending time with my peoples. But
here's
what I'm not about to do.
What you don't, you want that to happen, but what you want
Chris is actually gay. Oh yeah, because here's the thing. I was out like as long as I had been dealing with Chrissy on this type of level, I have been telling her like, yo, they're children, they're terrible to plan things with. And she's like, no, it can't be that bad, blah, blah, blah. And when this shit happened in the group chat, I separately texted her, this is the shit I be talking about.
You know, y'all remember that scene in Justice League? Not the Snyder Cut, the one that was released, where Superman and Cyborg was laughing after the mother box blew the fuck up. They was being goofy. It was like, children. I work with children. That's this.
Facts. Yes. It's all facts. It's like, all right. And here's the thing. They're going into this. I was not putting a limit on my participation going into this. Yeah. What made me come to this conclusion is We literally had this conversation. We confirmed when, we confirmed where, we confirmed what.
Right.
And when I brought it up, none of you knew the answers to any of this questions. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not. So,
you know what though? It's annoying because this is some shit that you wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Or at least right now, don't look like it's going to happen.
Right.
But this is a good thing, not a bad thing. Why? There have to be consequences. Unfortunately, the human ape does not respond in a way that is efficient or effective without there being consequences for its inaction. Right?
Correct.
So the consequence is that nice time y'all was about to have,
thanks.
I'm not gonna have, because y'all keep expecting for James to put the cape on with the letter V on the back for vacation, VM vacation man and shit, and to plan everything. Get on the phone, go on websites, use his calculator to figure out cards. Y'all can keep expecting him to do that shit. Look, talk to his connects that he'd have made from his long years planning videos. He's talking to motherfuckers that own houses and own resorts and shit. Hello, excuse me, sir. Mr. Davis is on the line. Oh, excuse me.
Let me put this $1 million deal on hold.
Mr. Davis is on the line, right? Like, yes, he brings us a lot of business. Listen, I know that's what they expected, but this has to happen because consequences, unfortunately, are the thing that kind of it affects behavior. Yep. Hopefully, so.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You never know if it's actually gonna.
That's true. You don't know. You
don't know. And you have to listen.
And like, hold on. What date was this again?
Saturday.
Next Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. I don't. Speaking of the vacation thing, though. So there's a movie that was filmed in the house that we stayed in when we went to Atlanta.
Oh, damn.
The movie just came out this year. And it was so weird seeing the places inside of it. Like, oh, that was my room. That was the one room upstairs. That's the front door. Yeah, that's the kit. So that was a little interesting. The movie itself.
That's interesting that you had that experience, because that's very similar to when last year we did Dragon Con and we stayed at the hotel. That not only did they film Winter Soldier, they also filmed Loki there. This is the TVA.
Yep.
We stayed at the TVA. You know what I'm saying?
All thanks.
Yo, I already told y'all, every time I got in that elevator.
That's funny.
I hit that line. Before we get started, does anyone want to get off? And it landed every time.
Oh, of course.
Every time.
Absolutely.
It's a Comic-Con.
It's a Comic-Con. You can't throw a rock without hitting somebody that saw that. Like, all right. On to some work shit. People
suck.
Oh, nigga. People in their cyclical thinking really make my ass itch. It's not always people who are stupid. That's the thing. I'm not just talking about stupid people. And it's not always people who operate in bad faith.
That's a fact.
Sometimes it's people who are operating in a righteous selfishness. I have two examples for y'all from work. Keep this in mind. Not only is it okay to not understand some rules and the why behind the rule, it also doesn't matter that you don't understand.
That's a fact too.
So the work order system that we currently use is proprietary. We made it in-house. It was made before the cloud was a thing, like popular and as prevalent as it is now. So all of this data is stored on our own servers. For several different yet equally important reasons, the system has slowed down significantly. One thing that has an effect on how fast the system runs is how many concurrent users are logged in. If it's not the biggest determiner, it's top 3.
Right.
My supervisor, who's not my supervisor, has tried to explain this to the jobs. There was a recommendation straight from her, i.e. the person who made it, that every job have no more than 2 people on the system at any given time. That's the rule.
Right.
That should be heeded. There would still be times where certain jobs will have 7 or 8 people logged on at the same time. Eventually, she explained explicitly that this rule was in order for everyone to have the best chance at a decent speed. That's the why.
Right.
Even still, she has to call them every few days to get several of them to log off. I was even at the location of one of the worst offenders this one day when she called to tell them to log some people off. So I said something to the managers. I was like, why don't y'all just listen? And the response I got was, it's so slow. How are we supposed to get any work done if only 2 people are logged in?
Yeah.
And I said, can y'all get work done when 7 of you are logged in?
Oh,
they said, well, not really. I said, didn't she tell y'all that the more people are logged on, the slower the system moves? They said, yes. So, all right, y'all got it. Y'all got it. The second example is letters. So for any given reason, we may have something to tell a tenant. Oftentimes, we use letters for that in addition to whatever other communication so that we can have a paper trail.
Right.
One manager recently moved from one location to another and noticed some discrepancies between some of the letters where she was and some of the letters where she is now. She asked me to look into it. So I talked to the people I needed to talk to. And here is the conversation that I had with her after I talked to those people.
Okay.
So you have to submit the letter that you want, that specific letter, to legal before you put it out, because technically it doesn't exist. He says, but they use it at insert name of rental office. I said, that means absolutely nothing. They should not be using it. Nobody should be using any letters that have not been approved by the legal department.
Right.
He says, why? I said, because that's the rule. Y'all are not supposed to be making your own letters. Let me interject here. That's the rule. Okay, back to her. She says, we can't possibly have a letter for every problem that pops up. I said, there are a finite amount of things that can go wrong. If there is something that pops up that's letter worthy and one doesn't exist, you're supposed to go through legal to get it approved.
Why?
She says, why can't we just make them and send them out? I said, because y'all don't know what y'all are doing. Let me interject again. That is the why. That's the why.
Is that the why?
Her response is, well, if y'all give us spell check, it wouldn't be a problem. All right, let's stop right there. Wait, let's stop right there. As far as the conversation goes, we're gonna stop right there. That's all that of that conversation they needed for me to make my point. She says, if y'all give us spell check, first of all, the letters that we're talking about are official form letters. They are attached to our database and have what are effectively mail merge fields. That particular program does not have spell check. She's right about that. But they do have Microsoft Word on their PCs. Let me read to you guys a letter that someone generated in Word, because Word has spell check. Let me read to you a letter. Let me read you a letter that somebody generated in Word that I had to stop from going out. Periodically, inspections are done to ensure that all regulations of a lease are being adhered to. We would like to advise you that as per insert paragraph number of your lease, we will inspect your unit on insert date. I am requesting you to be present during this inspection. However, it's not mandatory. If no one is home, I will use the passkey to enter. If you have any questions regarding this letter, please contact rental office at insert number between the hours of 9 and 5. So this was done with spell check.
Yeah.
Every single group of letters in that letter forms a word that exists and is spelled correctly. There's still a bunch of things wrong with that letter if read out loud, most of you didn't catch. Let's point some out. The first error is literally the first word, periodically. This is a policy mistake. There are two definitions of the word periodically. The one that's specific is inaccurate in this case and doesn't apply to this letter per our policy. And the one that's more vague has no business being in official correspondence between landlord and tenant. Okay, we don't have to go far for the next error. They didn't put a comma after periodically.
Oh.
Okay, the next error, 5 words later, is the person typing used inshore instead of ensure.
Wait a minute, they used the drink. The
drink. No, I instead of
oh.
Both of those are words. Damn. And you spelled it correctly. You just didn't use the right word. The next error is the phrase are being adhered to. No D. There's no D in that sentence, in that little phrase. Are being adhered to. Those are all spelled correctly. Spelled the shit out of them words. But
I would argue that proper in the context, they misspelled it.
Right.
What the fuck? Like,
we haven't even, all of those errors, those egregious errors in the first sentence. See, I used to, when confronted for being too strict and wanting policy to be followed, I used to contemplate if I was being too harsh. The biggest pushback I would always get is, well, do they know why they are or are not supposed to do this? And I used to empathize with this. No longer. To be clear, my answer to that question was always, it doesn't matter if they know why. Right. But I mean it now differently than I meant it then. I used to mean that the rule is the rule and they should follow it. That's what I used to mean when I said that shit. But now, the rule is the rule and they should follow it. And if they have questions, they can and absolutely should ask for clarification, but in addition to following policy, not in lieu of.
Right.
What I mean now when I say it doesn't matter if they know why is whoever dare ask me that question is wrong and too optimistic about human behavior.
Yeah, but
see, even when people know why, they still have the ability to think that they know better,
bro.
And they still have the ability, bruh, and they still have the ability to simply disregard.
Yo, they do, bro. Come on, I know
all the time.
This should not be a revelation to anybody.
Murder is illegal. It's pretty clear why.
Yeah. Motherfuckers still do that shit. Listen,
yes, and it's an extreme example, but
still, bro. Point. How many? So let's take a less one. How many times someone has come to you with some straight up bullshit? You go and fact check them. You give them the links to qualified sources that show that they're wrong, only to hear them in another conversation use that exact same first answer that you just showed them wasn't. This is incorrect.
Yeah. And to anyone who has trouble with policies they don't understand, it's okay to not know something. As long as you aren't being violated and you aren't being set up as a fall person or something like that, I promise you, it's not important that you know why a rule is in place.
Yeah, and see, the first especially is you. Oh, that's a very fascist. Listen,
nah,
you can say what you want, but the reality is, y'all have shown,
bruh,
that first of all, a lot of you are lemmings, and then the ones of you that don't think of themselves as lemmings, who want to be countercultural, counter against everything that what's being the established rule.
Right.
You don't care why the rule is in place. You want to do what you want to do.
Absolutely. And it's like, bro, like it's a system. Any system that necessitates that rules be followed for the system to be successful needs the rules to be followed. Like, what do you?
But when you're
again, if somebody, that's funny. Again, if somebody is taking advantage of you in some way or something putting you out in some way that you shouldn't be put out, absolutely. Ask questions, do what you need to do.
Just because something is a rule doesn't mean
it ain't always
we ain't
right.
saying that, right? We ain't
right. No, but in a situation where that's not the case, it is not important for you to know why the rule exists.
Just follow.
Again,
it doesn't. They don't. It's nothing bad is happening to you as a result of you following this rule. But you not following it gums up the whole entire work. Right.
So again, you can ask, but in addition to you following, not in lieu of
facts. That's facts. I won't follow until you tell me why.
Who are you?
Why can't I steal this diamond ring?
Bro, like, what are you
it's
talking
sitting
about?
here on the display case. It's not coming with any goddamn thing. Come on, man.
So, like I said, I promise you it's not important for you to know why, especially if you're working at that place because you need money to survive.
Facts. You shouldn't really.
If you're just working there for shigs, have at it. Ignore any rule you like.
Do what you like. Because when they fire your goofy ass, it's not going to bother you as much because you was only there for shits and giggles. I've worked at certain jobs for shits and giggles. I worked at GameStop and didn't need to be there. Right? But I'm getting a discount on the games. It's fun to talk about games. I'm not there for 8 hours. I'm there for like 3 hours or some shit like that. This is cool. Yeah. If you're there for that,
if you're there for shits, go ahead. Do whatever the fuck you want. As long as it ain't illegal and you get in trouble for it.
Exactly.
Do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly.
But otherwise, if you're most of the citizens that you need to work to sustain your life, it's probably like, again, with the caveat of you being disregarded, disrespected.
Yeah, you're not being
violated. No, I'm not talking about none of that shit. Outside of all that, do what the fuck you're supposed to do.
Shut up and follow the rule.
Bruh, it's that simple. It's really that.
Ignore that the way you ignore all them hungry ass kids in the motherfucker. Or right here in this country. Ignore that. Ignore what that rule, why that rule is in place the same way you ignore that shit.
Next.
Do that.
Next. Kind of related. Remember how I came on here before and belabored the sentiment that you don't know them people?
Yeah.
In reference to coworkers?
Yeah.
This is a similar sentiment. When it comes to work, ain't nothing personal. Let me say it again for the people in the back. When it comes to work, ain't nothing personal. So one of my dear close friends, Marcus.
The fact that you
no, because there's a reason I have to qualify.
I know.
Went into the group chat and complained about something that happened to him at work. Now, to be clear, this is not an attack on Marcus. It comes up in the conversation, but it bears being said more than once. My objective with this conversation was to try and find a solution, not necessarily to tell him he was wrong. I think this could possibly help somebody out there if they listen to the advice that I gave him. He left some work on his desk that when he came in the morning, he was going to divvy up between him and another coworker. When he arrived at his desk in the morning, that work had already been separated, and the part that was going to the other coworker had been given to them. He was incensed because someone had, quote, violated his personal space. Now, before I continue, stop. Before I continue, let me fill in some context that he didn't tell the group chat. Because I'm the only person that know these things because I work with him. The person who took the work off of his desk is effectively his supervisor. Now, I don't think she technically has this title, though I might even be wrong about that. She might technically have
supervisor that's not a supervisor.
No, it ain't like me. See, I'm glad you bring that up. I'm gonna circle back to that if I remember. No, I don't know if she technically has the title, but she might. The people who work at my job that do what she does answer to her. There are 3 people in that particular mini department, unquestionably. The lady that I'm talking about, anything she says is what happens.
It's her dominion.
She also trained Marcus. More context. He is the only one out of the 3 who comes in around 9 o'clock. The other 2 come in at 8. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So he sent the following message. How do you tell a coworker not to touch shit on your desk when you're not there, especially when the shit didn't need to be done until I got in this morning? My initial thought was, okay, he's having issues with someone going through his stuff. But then I thought about the last part of what he said and figured it must have been the non-supervisor coworker who grabbed something off his desk. That's what I thought it was. So Marcus is a people pleaser, which in its extreme moments can veer into pushover territory.
Yeah.
So I asked him if he wanted to know how the rest of us that were in the group chat would approach this,
right,
or if he wanted a way that he would actually say.
Right.
He said both. So I told him to get across the sentiment that he is fully capable and on top of his job and its responsibilities, but to put in the words that he was comfortable saying. Let the record show, my first advice to him on this topic was for him to confront the person. Let the record show.
Hold up, excuse me. There, the record is showing.
All right. More convo happens, and he reveals what actually happened. So what actually happened is that he had the folders on his desk that needed attention. He left them on his desk overnight, and his plan was to come in the morning and divide the folders between him and the non-supervisor coworker. But the supervisor coworker went to his desk and grabbed the stuff that was going to the other person before Marcus came in.
Oh.
Once he said that, I was flabbergasted. I asked him if she messed anything up. He said no. So I asked him if he was just bitching the bitch. Now, to the non-initiated, what that means is I was just asking him if he was just venting. Because
that's exactly what that means.
Yeah, because I'm not that friend unless you tell me before the conversation starts.
Right.
If you come to me for a problem, I automatically try to assess and solve the problem.
Right.
His first message was literally asking for words to say. So that's the mode I was in.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said no, he's not bitching the bitch. So I said, well, I don't take work that personal. If you didn't mess anything up and you aren't making my job harder, I don't give a fuck.
That's me.
He said, fuck this work. It's the principle. This is my desk. He emphasized my. She shouldn't be on my desk doing anything without asking me if I need her to. I told him he was bugging. And unless she walked up to him and took it out of his hand, or took it out of a personal bag he has that he leaves at work,
mushed him,
or maybe she took it out of one of the drawers that he has, then absolutely she did not violate his personal.
She ain't violate a goddamn thing.
And since that was the case, and she is effectively a supervisor, the best thing for him to do was to accept it.
Yeah.
He said the vast majority of people see their workspace as personal. That is relative. However, he said, well, actually, no, let's stop right there. So I'm aware that I'm not the most sentimental person. I'm not the guy that's going to have plants. I'm not going to be the guy that has plants and pictures of loved ones and decorative mugs and all that other shit at my desk. No. I'm not. So I might be biased. But I don't believe that what he's saying is true in this context. For a bit more context, he doesn't have an office. This is an open floor plan.
Also, this is take a locker, for instance. Yes. People
Absolutely.
On a job view the locker as their personal space.
1,000%.
Desk, on the other hand, and look, I've had desk, and I'm like you. I don't put no pictures of my family or no person from home. This is not home away from home.
No.
And I don't want to confuse the fucking.
If I feel the overwhelming urge to look at my family, I got my phone.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. But I do want to hear. I do want to hear from. I do kind of want to hear from the people in the.
Oh no, that was my next. Yeah, that was my next.
Yeah, because do y'all think that shit?
And like I said, it's open floor plan. It's not an office. Right. And the supervisor coworker does have her own office. By the way, just throw that out there.
Oh, yeah, bro.
So also, Chrissy and I hung out with one of her friends Wednesday. It was my first time meeting her. I did not know her. She does not know Marcus. And she agreed with me. So let me know in the comments if you see workspace as personal in the context that we're talking about.
Right.
Because I can see you having a bit of an issue if like you go to your desk and you realize that like somebody took some candy or your gum or that's something that's actually personally yours.
That's actually mine that I put on the desk that I work, and you went and took it. You stole.
Right. So he went on to say that basically he was not going to just accept that. I said, okay, if you feel so strongly about this, go tell HR that she violated your personal space. Let's pause. Let's pause. Some of the stories that I've shared about Marcus may have some of our listeners thinking that he's super illogical, and you might be confused as to why he's one of my closest friends. No, because he's absolutely one of my closest friends. The same things I would do for Fab, the same things I would do for Toom, is the same things I would do for Marcus, without question. Marcus actually is not illogical. He's just stubborn as fuck.
That's where I got from it. I never like from the stories that you told, I've never got from that he was illogical or couldn't make sense. No, he just seems stubborn.
Yeah. So in response to me telling him to tell HR, he said, and I quote, "We both know that won't do anything but make me look like I'm overreacting." Because you are.
Hold up. If it makes you look like it, there is a possibility, a strong possibility that you are, because you're going to play by play tell them exactly what happened. No cut cards, no add no
You're not about to throw no English on it.
You ain't put no English, right? You ain't put no English on none of that shit, right? You ain't about to do none of that shit. You about to tell them what happened. And if they say, if you're saying to yourself, it's going to make me look like I'm over-exaggerating, when you're literally just going to tell them what happened.
Yeah.
Somewhere inside you, you're overreacting.
And here's why I stressed my intentions in this spirited discussion. It's going to look like that because you are overreacting. He's saying this is a big deal and something he won't accept. But my first piece of advice, again, that was noted, that was made for the record, was to confront her. My first piece of advice to him was to confront her. So he won't confront her. I told him to tell HR. He won't tell HR. I told him to try and change his perspective. That was the point I was trying to make. Yeah. If you're not going to do those two things, change your perspective and look at it a different way. He won't do that. Well, guess what? You have accepted it then.
Yeah.
Because you won't do any of the three possible actions that you can do to address it.
We're right back to you accepting it.
Right. You have accepted it. That's what has happened. So people, if you feel like somebody is slighting you in some way, shape, or form, and standing up for yourself or standing up to them is out of the question for some reason, try to change your perspective. To be clear, I always encourage and promote dealing with the problem head on. That's my preferred. But if you just can't bring yourself to do that, at least try to bring yourself some peace to the situation.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you're not going to do something actionable that you think is going to resolve or allow you to get some justice, that means you're the one living with that fucking hole in here that's got you feeling.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, it's not always a easy pill to swallow.
No.
Marlon told me when I was a kid, he was like, you're going to have to eat some shit. But the trick is to season that shit to your taste. Facts. And that's basically what you're doing here. You don't like it, but the alternative is what? Nothing. Right. So nothing you're going to be able to do about it. So try to change the way you feel about it. Yes. Like actively work at change the way you feel about it for nobody else, but for yourself.
Yeah, you. Because no one else, everyone else is nonplussed. You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything to anybody. Nobody even knows you have an issue because you won't say anything.
Facts.
So what you going to do?
You're living with that.
Right.
You're living with that.
It's absolutely within your right to stew about it.
Yeah, if you want to, sure. But it ain't entirely, it's not entirely healthy for you.
It's not healthy, right? So that was, but I'm fairly certain he ended up just stewing about it because
that's what he does. I'm gonna tell you something. Some people like the stupid. I'm all right.
Sure.
I'm put it on me. In the course of my adult life, a lot of grievances, especially since I got old enough to the point to understand you can't solve every last one of these same things the same way. Right. Meaning, my go-to, especially in situations we're dealing with people, particularly other men, right? You say something that I feel like this is being disrespectful. If I feel a tinge of disrespect coming down, I'm gonna swing on your ass. That used to be. The older you get, the more you realize there are so many logistical problems with that. Being the go-to every time. There are so many. So you start to say, yeah, you start to say to yourself, look, first of all, you go to jail for shit like that. That's assault and battery.
Yep.
2, and a lot of niggas ain't gonna want to admit this.
Hey,
you might fuck around and get your ass whipped.
Your ass beat.
You might jump on something and
might be able to lose an end. You might be able to lose the end of that transaction, man.
You know what I'm saying? Even if you win the physical altercation and you don't go to jail for it, if the person's fighting back, you're gonna get hurt.
Oh yeah,
because if somebody's fighting back, if they even have a modicum of skill, or how to get a punch off or a kick to the nuts or something, whatever, you're gonna feel the pain too. So yeah, you won the shit, but the rest of the day you fucked up, or maybe that the rest of the week your eyes sitting on dubs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a bunch of that. So I've had to learn to eat shit, and it reminds me, a friend of mine on Facebook posted just the other day that there's people he feel like he should have beat the fuck up, and not understand what he means by that.
Sure.
The problem is, when you get older, you start to see consequences for what the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have that feeling in here that I have to carry with me for the rest of eternity that makes me feel mad at myself.
Yeah.
And I ain't swing on them, so I gotta find a way to feel different about it. It is what it is, big. Like it is what it is. And trust me, some of you motherfuckers right here online that then said little shit, motherfuckers I didn't work with. Said little shit, did little shit. I'm like, I should come to you. Motherfuckers know me. I will go to your house.
Right.
Right? I'm going to nigga's house. Like, but what's that going to do?
Yeah.
What's that going to do?
It's not a net benefit.
No. So you gotta let it go, and you gotta let. When I say let it go, that means you have to let it go. And always, you don't swing on them, and then you don't carry that shit with you.
Right.
You find a way to think about it differently.
Yep.
That's it.
It's really essential. It would do so much people so much better.
Yeah, and you better listen. You better figure that shit out before you get a certain age. That's the other thing. You got to figure out because carrying all that shit in here, these are stress force magnifiers that will eventually take you down while the other person's living life like it's golden and shit, not even worrying about that incident. And you the one sitting there with that feeling here that you can't get out because you can't even at least release it with one of these. You can't do none of that. So you might as well find a different way to think about that shit, because at the end of the day, it's only hurting you. I fueled a large percentage of my music career was fueled by those grievances, by the thing I was angry about, even if I'm talking about something else, which is why a lot of the songs sound angry. They sound angry. And it may not even be me being just angry about the situation I'm talking about. I'm throwing all the other shit into that because I was under the illusion that's like therapy. Truth is, only therapy is therapy.
Facts.
Only therapy is therapy. You know, that shit might make
it can be nice temporarily helpful. Yeah,
temporarily, but only therapy is therapy.
Yeah, thanks. All right, the next thing. You know what scuffs my terms?
What scuffs your terms?
People who make false equivalencies. But not just any false equivalency, but specifically anyone living in this country who unironically uses the words "because I'm white" as a reason that something negative is happening to them. I have a coworker who has used this at my job, not once, but at least twice. Twice that I know of.
He's got to be joking.
Well, shit.
She got to be working. She's joking.
Now, before I go in on this idiot, for context, I've heard several of my black coworkers over the years, not a bunch of them, a few here and there, insist that my company was racist. Now, any of them who I'm close enough with to care what they think, I had to check them on that.
Right.
I cannot speak to any individual in upper management's heart because I don't know these motherfuckers outside of work.
Right.
Nor does what I'm about to say mean that black people are any of their favorite people. Right. But in the context of what this conversation should be about, work, I'll say that there are 13 management positions at the rental offices. Only 3 of them are not black women. One of those 3 is a black man. One of the remaining 2 is about to retire in a couple weeks. The last one is probably going to retire in the next year. So there's that. Now back to this idiot. She's been stationed at 2 different locations for any decent amount of time. The first place she was, a part of the reason that she was moved is because she complained about the management there and asked one of the managers if she was being treated poorly because she's white.
She actually asked them that?
Oh, yeah, the words came out.
Wow.
There were other issues which added up to her not being at that location anymore.
Who owns that company, though?
What do you mean?
Ethnic demographic.
Jewish.
Keep going.
Now, at this location where she's currently, recently, she's told management there that she thinks some of the other agents don't like her because she's white.
Why?
I don't know. That one I didn't hear, so I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate on anything, but she's not listening to this, and I don't know if she'll ever hear it. I don't know her personally. I do know a few details about her life and her personality, though, and I'm pretty good at reading people. Let me be clear. Being white is absolutely the issue here. We haven't talked about whiteness in a while, so let me reiterate. I'm not referring to people of European descent.
Right.
I am not referring to descendants of the Caucasus region.
Right.
I am talking about good old-fashioned American whiteness.
Right.
I'm talking about the
concept of whiteness.
Yeah, I'm talking about the creative term for my identity to advantageously other myself and then allow certain groups to become a part of it. Whiteness.
Right.
You want special privilege because you're white is what the issue is. You bring up soul food whenever people are talking about eating white.
Right.
You are randomly asking people you have no reason to think it's the case if they're going to the next 50 Cent concert white.
Right.
You are show people a picture of your daughter so you can say her dad's black, white.
Right.
And I hate that nigga and whatever family of his who contributed to boosting
to that bullshit
entitlement toward black people. Your problem isn't that people are mistreating you because you're white. Your problem is that people aren't eating out of the palm of your hand because you're white.
Right. You're being treated like everybody else.
Yeah. And the funny thing about this is I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. When I found out she was going to the location where she is now, I warned a couple of the agents there. I didn't tell them any specifics because with my job being what it is, I know a lot about a lot.
Right.
I'm talking about people personally, people work with. I know a lot about a lot, and I would not.
Things.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to be as efficient as I am if I was just telling people what other people said or telling people other people's business. And all that. Yeah, so I don't do that. But I did warn them. I said, listen, she coming over here. At some point, you're not going to see eye to eye.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't think it's that big of a thing.
All right.
I don't think it's that big of a problem. I'm gonna give it a benefit of the doubt. Okay.
Y'all, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, man. when I have those same sort of discussions that you have, but about different things, and I try to tell people in advance, I go, bro, this about to go down. And they give me the whole, all right. So when it does, you cannot then come back to me bitching about it. I don't want to hear it because I already told you, yo, I gave you the heads up.
Bruh.
We got one.
And here's the thing. Whenever it gets to a point where I have to tell someone that I've informed them thusly.
Yeah.
Not always, a good portion of the time, the response is, well, you didn't tell me everything. And this goes back to what I said earlier. You don't need to know why. It's not important why. It's not important why. What is important is I have the experience in this particular situation, and I'm giving you this experience to help you out. This is to benefit you. Yeah. I have no dog in this fight. I don't fucking work here. I visit here twice a week.
Right.
I don't work here. I have no dog in this. I don't know her personally.
You're going to have to deal with this. And I'm just trying to give you the heads up so that you can figure out the way to deal with it before it comes.
It's that simple.
Like,
and to her credit, the one that I told, to her credit, when it started happening, she said, James.
He was right.
He was right. He was right. He was right. And everything that you warned me about as far as us not getting along or her being an issue.
This is the whole not listening part.
Bruh.
This is it. Like, because it's one thing to hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you're not listening. Hearing.
No, you could just listen.
Hearing is very much a physical act.
Right.
The sound waves that come from out somebody's mouth will hit the tympanic membranes and nerves and shit inside your ears.
Right.
So it's literally hitting it. Are you listening? In other words, are you absorbing what the fuck I'm saying to you and getting the data from it and factoring this data into your next move? Are you doing that? A lot of times, no. You're physically hearing me, but you're not listening.
Yeah, you heard what I said.
You heard what I said, but you heard what I said. Listening.
And it's like, sometimes it's frustrating because, listen, all right, I don't do this often, but fuck it. Sometimes the reason it's frustrating is because I know who I am. Right? Like, listen. I know who because I'm thinking of one particular situation that I can't really talk about.
Right.
But like, for me to take my time and energy to come down to you. Yes, I meant what I said. And I said I meant it the way it sounded. For me to take my time and energy to come down to you and give you the information that I just gave you, and then you completely disregard what I say.
I understand. You
have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what I know. You have no idea who I know. You have no idea my relationships with these people. You have no idea my influence over these people. Yeah. There was a situation that happened recently, and I had told this person, this is what it is. This is what you should not do.
Right.
They fought back. This time I even gave, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. They fought back. I gave them the why.
Oh, damn.
I gave them the why. This is, don't do this. Don't do this, but I have to. This is why you should not do this.
I didn't do it anyway.
They said, okay. Less than 24 hours later, they did it anyway. Now, that led to somebody important being really upset with them. So next time I saw this person, I said to them, somebody's really upset with you. And he said, why? I explained that you're developing a track record, a negative track record. that's not helpful to you. And he says, well, what did I do? So I gave him an example. He tried to fight back, but in the end, he couldn't. And then he said, well, who is it? I said, I'm not telling you that. He said, why? I said, because I literally just told you not to do something. Right. And you did it anyway.
Right, you did it anyway. So there's no need for me to. I learned.
I can't trust you at this point.
I learned some shit. Yeah,
I can't trust you at this point.
Right.
Oh, well, I didn't know what was going to happen. But
that's not the point. See,
but I told you it was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen. You didn't listen, and it happened.
Yeah,
I told you it was going to happen.
It's a loop.
Full circle. It's
Groundhog Day. It's a loop.
Like, I told you not to do this because this would happen. You did it anyway, and then that happened. And then when I confronted you about it, you said I didn't know this would happen. Yes, you did, because I told you.
No, this is what I say to you. Well, yeah, you did tell me, but you were just speculating.
Oh no, I ain't give him a chance. Right. I didn't give him a chance. I said no. I did then what I'm doing now. I told you what it was. I told you what was going to happen. You chose not to listen to me. No. I am in the position that I'm in because I'm good at what the fuck I do. So I knew what was going to happen.
This is insulting too, by the way, because him saying I didn't know what was going to happen when you told him is you saying I'm not me.
Basically, that's what it is. And it's like, nah, nigga, I'm absolutely me. Like, so, so like, and I told him, and like I said, you don't know what I know. I knew all the things that were going on. You don't know who I know. I was talking to this particular person. You don't know what influence I have over people. I'm the reason he's not fired.
Yeah.
Because when they mention what they mentioned, I'm like, wait, hold on. Let's not go that far. How about
not jump the gun?
Yeah, like I don't think it's that crazy as you think it is, because you haven't talked to him, you don't have no context, you just know what happened. It's not as crazy as you think it is. But how about you think about doing this instead? And if I'm lying, I'm flying within 2 weeks. What I said, how about you do this instead? That's what happened.
Right. But no. Keep playing with me.
Bruh.
Because see, we already established on the show with Addy. They're not going to stop.
Yeah, they're not going to stop.
But here's the thing. That's why I said before, consequences has a lot to do with changing ape behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because what an ape will do, I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. I'm going to do that. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when they peel the banana, that shit all black and shit on the inside, or was maggots, some shit on there and shit. Damn it! I told you that tree is rotten. The shit on the tree ain't right. You ain't listen. And the consequence is your ass is hungry. Right? That's the consequence. And then they'll avoid the tree.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, they'll avoid tree. That tree ain't tree. Yeah. See, but until the consequences happen, there is a segment of them that don't believe shit stink until you rub their face directly in a pile of it.
Right.
That's what it is, yo. That's what it is. And again, it's insulting because you know who you are, and you should know.
And see, here's the thing. Now. Here's the thing. But I say that jokingly, though it's not a joke.
Right.
It is true. I mean what I'm saying, but I'm saying it jokingly because my bigger issue, I don't have that big ego. I don't give a fuck who you think I am, because I know who I am. So like, I don't have that big ego with it. Like, how dare you not think that I don't care about that. My biggest issue here is efficiency. I went out of my way. Right. I went out of my way to attempt to make this go as smooth as possible for all parties involved. And you wanted to buck. And because you bucked, it made this situation drag out.
Couldn't help yourself.
Bro,
it
made the situation drag out, and it caused consequences for you.
Yeah.
Who my point in this was trying to avoid consequences for you.
But so you would think at that point, though, like, all right, You saw what happened,
bro.
So going forward,
no. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. I'm not that guy. I know who I am. I also know who I ain't.
Damn.
He don't get no more help from me.
That's true.
Him and I don't have a personal relationship.
Right.
This initial help that I was giving him was like
a boom.
Professional courtesy.
Yeah, that was a boom.
Yeah, like
you could have kept going about your motherfucking business.
And that's why I had to explain to him, because he was like, well, why ain't nobody tell me? I said, no one had to tell you. It was no one's duty or responsibility or burden to tell you.
You calling me nobody?
Well, here's the thing. I ignored that part. Because like I said, I'm joking about my perception of my status, not my status. But my status is my status. But I'm joking about my perception of my status. I don't think that highly. I don't take that shit too seriously. But it's factual.
It depends on what we talk about.
What it is. Well, absolutely.
It depends on the topic.
Yeah. No, it's factual.
When it's obvious that I'm sitting in that seat,
right?
When it's obvious that I deal with this, and everybody, and then you still do that dumbass shit.
I'm angered at that. That's the part. I'm angered at your stupidity. I'm mad that you would be so fucking dumb that this obvious thing, just you were blinded to it for some reason.
Listen, we the first to come on the show and tell you, if you walk in a room and we the smartest guys there,
bruh. Yeah.
But when there's some shit that I have special
knowledge
of this. I have special knowledge of this. I have intimate special knowledge of this. And then I choose. We are not friends like that. So I choose to go, hey, let me put you on real quick. And then you do the opposite after I done gave you shit. You get no more help from the kid. You don't get what?
Bruh.
Like no more help.
That's why when he asked me who it was, I'm like, why would I tell you?
You're not somebody that I need to hear.
Bruh. But anyway, when he asked, why ain't nobody tell me that this was going to happen, blah, 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 I said, nobody needed to tell you.
Nobody.
It was not important that you knew, because this was not a thing.
Nobody needed to tell you.
It was not a thing that was yours to handle.
Yeah.
It was not a thing that was yours to deal with.
Role, bro.
The only reason you were informed is because I was giving you grace. Again, mercy, I'm not. Mercy's not my strong point. Grace?
What's that shit, yo? What's that shit that in Kill Bill that she told the one chick like about reason? I'm very reasonable. It's compassion, mercy, and grace. I like.
No, see, I'm good with grace. I'm good with giving you something you haven't necessarily earned yet.
Yeah.
But once you earn it, you get it.
Yeah.
That's mercy. I'm not going to not give you something you've earned, because nah. Grace, I got you.
Here's a grace period. I'm giving you this up. Now you can take this because your free will is still intact. You can go but I gave you the cheat code,
bro,
to avoid this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, you went. I told you don't open the door and stick your head in.
Right.
You opened the door.
You did it anyway.
So when they chop your shit off, right? I told you when you can open the door. Don't stick your head in.
Right. And I was like, well, I told you.
I informed you, Leslie.
The only reason I said,
keep going. I can hear you.
He had a stick in his ass about that. Like, why ain't nobody telling me? Because it wasn't important that anybody told you. The only reason I said anything to you was professional courtesy. You got a professional courtesy from me. And I said to him, like, the reality of this is I could have saw what I saw and taken it directly to the people who needed to know what it was without saying a single word to you. And I would have been within my rights. I told you what I told you to simply give you a heads up that something was coming. And instead of being grateful about that, you want to be belligerent and not listening and not heeding. And it's like, bruh, nobody got time. Like, I'm not interested in this dick measuring contest that you're having with yourself. Because, as I said earlier, I know who I am. I know my status. And I feel like people in good faith, when they actually are a thing, they don't really spend much time telling people they are that thing. When you have guys, oh, I'm a good guy, I'm a good man, chances are you probably aren't. So yeah, I have no desire. And it's funny because he is one of those people, not with the good guy thing, but he exaggerates his status.
Yeah, and that's a sure sign, bro. Like I've seen this with artists. Seen this with artists. You're, for the record, you're supposed to. You doing a marketing thing?
Oh, big yourself up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. For some people, the type of stuff that I seen them big up is what lets me know you are unsure of your status, of that you are who you're trying to convince us you are.
Yeah,
like you're unsure of that status. Because you're blowing up things that some of the stuff they're trying to blow up, trying to take credit for, it's not you. You didn't even do it. Like you weren't the one that did that. You must think we stupid. Like you weren't even the guy, right? You was the man that sat next to the man. It sat next to the man. It sat next to the man that was around the corner, there on the patio, and you was like in a chair somewhere in the room. Like you not even that guy.
Whoa!
Saying?
So yeah, effectively, y'all should just listen. I mean, in general, like
listen with an air of scrutiny, absolutely.
Right.
But even when you do, if I came to you and told you that, even when you listen with the air of scrutiny, that means you factor in who I am.
Yes.
This. That's part of it.
In the situation. If I'd say something to you about some fucking computers at work, consider the source. Like, I'm the IT guy. Like, the fuck are we talking about? Like, as far as the field is concerned, like downtown, I can understand. Actually, even downtown, most of the people downtown understand. Right. But in the field, it's 3 people effectively in my department. They don't see the other 2 people. Right. So to them, I'm the IT guy. Yeah. If it's about the fucking computers, you should probably consider the source when I say something. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. Weirdos. So let me see something. Where's this? So, ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls, children of all ages,
December the 2nd will be the last episode of the Black Culture Geeks for the year.
Yeah, I was gonna let that sit there. You know what I'm saying?
we're taking a break because that particular time is gonna be super fucking busy. Like,
yeah, I will be out of the country for a portion of that time.
And I will be out of the country.
He's gonna be out of the country for so yeah, it's gonna be really difficult.
It's a lot going on. So the
second it'll be a very special episode. It'll be a holiday show.
Yes, it will be a holiday show. 2nd of December will be the last episode for the year, and we'll be back on the 6th of January. So that's a programming note for all you guys to keep in mind. It'll be, what's that? 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, good 4 weeks. Good 4 weeks. It's just so much going on.
We'll have a bunch of stories to tell you when we get back.
Oh, that's a nigga.
We're gonna have a bunch of shit to tell you back. Those who already follow me on other social media things, I might be uploading a picture here.
Right.
There, you know what I'm saying? What's happening? I'm sure SPJ is going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Throughout the country, but yeah, 100%. 100%.
And that's it.
Yeah, we would like to thank all of you once again for joining us on another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks 31, the Cartoon Black. You guys being here 100% keeps us enthused, keeps us motivated, and you are the reason that we do this, other than the fact that we love to air our grievance.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Also, be aware, as SPJ said, there is always music.
Always.
There's always music upcoming.
Always.
May not be for me, but it's always music upcoming. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
SPJ drops music frequently.
Relatively frequently.
You know what I'm saying? Relatively frequently. Graydon drops music relatively frequently, right? So go check that shit out, of course. Go check out my man Jay the Nerd's YouTube channel. Go check out Chrissy's Heard It Through the Grapevine podcast.
Yeah, they be live on Mondays.
Go check them out. Also, do not forget my man Super Side Guys, Metas and Mutants podcast about comic books. There's, of course, the Majestic Comics YouTube channel as well. Go check that out. Subscribe there. And again, as I said earlier, we have our Kickstarter is live. You know what I mean? So those of you that can, go over there, check us out. Support the Kickstarter and get your hands on Extra Pain Entropy Issue 2 Shattered Alliance. It's going to be.
Y'all need to get in on that.
Yes, it's going to be dope. It's going to be a dope issue. Last issue, people love that. First of all, kudos to everybody that supported that last one. If you can, come by support this again. We're tentatively scheduling another Kickstarter because we're trying to get these issues out. So we're tentatively trying to do another one. Well, I will give you the date on that. We haven't quite nailed that down, but next year we're going to do more, and we're going to also slide in there one of the other IPs when it's ready, right? So all of these things are happening. These are all good things that are going down. In the meantime and in between time, what we suggest for all of you is to be good to each other. Be careful, because there's a lot of crazy people out here that do not have your best interests at heart, right? Make sure your circle ain't filled with a bunch of squares. And for my
follow the rules. It's not important to know why.
It's not important for you to always know why.
With caveats.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Y'all should know, y'all should know how to govern yourselves accordingly.
Y'all should know how to govern yourself accordingly. When one of them tell you something and give you grace, accept that grace.
You kind of got it. It behooves you.
It behooves you to accept that grace. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for my man SBJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.